It's too early, but that's okay. My gym workout was phenomenal. Before I went home, I decided to stop over at my mother's house. I haven't seen my mother in 2 months. I know she's going to be very surprised to see me. I can't wait. What the? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The first thing I noticed was this person's skin. What is going on? Uncomplicated, untreated skin? Who is this guy? I had to take a step back, but then I realized it was my brother. But look at his skin. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? I had to take a closer look and figure out what was going on. Best believe I crept up on him. Peep this. I'm still looking at his skin, trying to figure out how did we get here. I could do nothing but shake my head. He could definitely use my help. I had to get to the bottom of this. He definitely needed some game about his skin. I'm just staring at it, like looking at it. Come on, bro. I knew what to do. I had to reach in my bag and get that Tej Hanley. Uncomplicated skincare for men. Bro, this is why I'm excited to have Tej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They have helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and the grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My brother was so excited. My favorite part about Tej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. Shout out to Tej Hanley. And because Tej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description, and not only will you get Tej Hanley for the best possible price, but they'll also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link and get started today for just $30. Feel the Tej. Let the Tej force be with you. Right, fam. Feel the Tej. It's go time. What's going on, family? Welcome to King Talk. Let me go ahead and introduce the group. We got Trigger, Mike, Sweetie, Ricky, Shannon Rawls, Sean Antonio, Louise, Cloud Jones, Hank, Sir Hale, me, myself, and Lapeef JI. Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Chilling. Doing good.
Bro, good, bro.
Chilling?
Oh, I'm just over here.
All right. So it's good to see you guys, man. What's up, Shan? Back.
You blurry.
There you go. Finally got it together. It's good to see you guys. Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. Before we get started, shout out to the sponsor, Tej Hanley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men, 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. Somebody's chewing pretty good. Who's that? Okay.
Who's having their late night snack?
Yeah, I know.
You know it's Trigger, Mike.
I'm like, damn. I'm like, shit. It was about a couple weeks ago. It was me. I'm like, no, that's not me. I'm sitting the one talking. But shout out to Tej Hanley again. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to all my green gangers in the chat. Joe Lee, I see you. Embrace the grace. We got HR in the building. So if there any hurt feelings report need to be filled out, typically the gentlemen don't need it, but I have seen occasionally where it might have had hit up HR the next day. Ed Hill, what's going on, brother? Jordan's World, Dale Matthews, salute to all the green gang. And link is pinned to the top of the chat if you want to go green. I suggest you go ahead and do it. I am releasing content to members only. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. Is my screen froze? Is it frozen? Yeah.
Yeah, it's frozen.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's still frozen now?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's not frozen on my end.
Yeah, it's definitely frozen on our end.
Man, it's I tell you what it is, Jay. I said Apple products, brother.
Come
Apple
on.
What's going on, B-Man? Still frozen right now?
Yeah, you
What's
still
going on, JR?
What's going on? I'm gonna go ahead and go to Avatar real quick. I'm gonna introduce the first topic.
I take Apple anytime I can, brother.
All right, all good.
That's all good. It's all good. Let's go and get into our first topic. Hit that like button again if you haven't already. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel. Our first topic is a man says, if every man's head doesn't turn, I don't want her. Let's go ahead and play this clip.
Go into a room and every man's head don't turn, I don't want you.
Man,
Everybody's head needs to turn.
Love that.
And if their head don't turn, they know something I don't. Something's wrong. If nobody wants her, I'm not interested, bro. I mean, they know something I don't. I don't want it.
I want somebody that everybody wants, but nobody can have.
Cannot have it.
Don't touch. You can't.
And when you know it's mine, it's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go ahead and dive into this, man. I came across this. I am curious about what the men have to say. True statement. Let me go ahead and start with Sean first. I see Sean already got the head tilted a little bit. Turn. What's going on, brother? What are your thoughts?
Hey man, shout out to Patrice O'Neal. If y'all know Patrice, man, y'all know he had a joke that was kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think it depends on where you are in life. You know what I'm saying? If once you mature, of course that doesn't matter anymore. But the younger version of you that's chasing the quote unquote bad chick, that's looking for validation. Well, I'll speak for me. The younger version of me that was chasing the baddest chick that I wanted validation, that was absolutely true. But Sean, that's a grown ass man. That's not at all true. Now, of course, you're gonna choose your mate based on a lot of things, and of course, you want her to be attractive. But I do think as men, we do when we're young. A lot of us do things for the external validation of other men, and I'm just long past that. So when you're young Sean, yes, but this Sean, no.
I like that. Sir Hill, let's get you in there.
There's so much I want to say about the guy who said this, but I will say that I understand his perspective. I understand where he's coming from. I think that there is a sense of we want a woman that makes us look good in the presence of other men. I think that that's a very true statement. But I think that if you judge whether or not you have a decent woman based off of other men wanting her, you're going to be going through women for the rest of your life, because most men typically desire different women at different points of their life. So I think that there's got to be a level of maturity involved, and that the focus can't just be on her being attractive in the eyes of other men. If you got a woman who you love and she makes your head turn and she's a quality woman, I think that should be good enough.
Nice. Uncle Rick, what you got for us?
Are we just speaking on this video?
Just on the video right now, yep.
When I seen it, I was thinking, shut up, bitch. Because that's some shit women would say. Like the fuck, man. Like, shit, everybody don't look. Shut the fuck up, man. Hey, he got to be 6'9". Shut up, man. Like, a lot of these dudes be sounding like females, bro. Like, even if that's the case, you can express it better, bro. Hey, I want my girl to be bad. If everybody else looking at, like, shit, like, man, people is weird, man. That's all I get. Like, come on, dog. Like, that's it. Come on, man. I hope it was more to the context of the conversation. I pray it was more than that, because if that's all he on, you gonna get exactly what you deserve, my guy. Run it up. That's all I got.
Indeed. All right, Shan.
Why I always got to be different than everybody? Fuck that. I want the baddest, best looking, sexiest, and I want everybody else to want to fuck my girl.
Because you live in
That's
Hollywood.
just how I
That's
am.
why.
Maybe it is. It could be. I'm in LA. Beauty is the hallmark. Women are the hallmark of beauty for every relationship. And, a reflection. My wife is a reflection of me. Well, if she's all nice on the inside, who the fuck is going to see that? Who's going to see her beauty on the inside? So especially if you want to be reflected as such, you know, it reminds me, it harkens back to where people say, oh man, you know what? I do this for me. Everybody does this for me. I get dressed for me, especially women. They say that, you know, I only do makeup for myself, and I only got, you know, cosmetic surgery for myself, and I only get dressed for myself. And we know that's all bullshit. You get dressed for everybody else. We are a colonial people. We care about each other. We need each other. We care about other people's opinions, men and women alike. I care. Let me keep it 100. I care about other people's opinion on many aspects of my life. If that was the case, I wouldn't mow my lawn. If it was about me, I don't see my lawn when I'm inside my house, but I want my house to have a nice curb appeal. Why wash my car? Why? For what? So for the most part, we all do things for other people. Now, when it comes to my woman, I want her to be smart and intelligent and all the things that everybody likes, but she got to be bad. And most men want the most beautiful women. That's why beauty is if not one of, is the first thing that we pay attention to as men. And you can't tell me that if you had a fugly woman, you wouldn't feel a certain kind of way. Now, maybe you say, well, you know what? I love her because there's a lot of women out there that would do really right by you fellas. She'll do really right by you fellas, but she's as big as a house and she's ugly as hell. But she'll do everything that you want. Even in the bedroom. But why won't we marry those women? It's something about the beauty side. So me, what does he say? If heads don't turn, I don't want her. Well, you know, that's kind of harsh, the last part. But if heads don't turn, something's going on. I want heads to turn. That's why I want my woman to look good. If we go now, I do events out here. You know, I'm in Hollywood. So, but when you roll up, it's like, yo. And then what happens is that's called status. And so what happens is when people see that, people see the car you drive, people see the house you live in, people see the clothes you wear, people see the jewelry on your arm. You know, all watches tell the same time, but some watches are $1 million and some are just $10. They all tell the same time. Status matters. And my woman is a reflection of me. And the baddest she is, to let the world know how bad I am. So yeah, I'm with my man in the video. And I'm 50. I'll be 51 on Friday. So, and I don't think I'm gonna ever let up on that. I gotta have a fine woman.
All right. I don't know why Sweeney looked like he about to blow your whole monologue apart. But go ahead, Sweeney. Let's hear it.
I think niggas be tempting fate too damn much. You want everybody head to turn. You want everybody checking out your woman. Fair. All right. Here's the thing. I'll stop caring. I made the biggest mistake as a kid in I think it was 6th, maybe 7th grade, giving a damn about what other people thought I was dating. Cool chick. Fairly attractive. She was okay. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, I start feeling insecure about the way she was looking because wasn't nobody else checking for her. Cool girl. You know what I mean? Is my mic slightly loud? Hold on, wait. But let's keep it real. Like, even if my woman wasn't the most attractive woman in the room, what dude gonna come up to you and be like, yeah, your woman butt ugly, bro? They already lying to women every day anyway. So as long as I'm attracted to her, I'm the one that picked her. Can't get mad that, you know what I mean, nobody else find her attractive. I'm the one that picked her. Nobody else gonna come up to me and say, hey man, your woman is just hit from the ground up. Nobody says that. So why are we worried? Why are you worried about what everybody else think of your woman if you the one that picked her? It's your woman. You better be happy with that fugly. You picked her. You better be happy that she may be a little bit overweight. You picked her.
Hell, why she gotta be fugly though? I'm like,
hell,
see, y'all argue the point, but then you jab in your point of argument.
But I'm just saying though, but like, Shannon, I would never, like, seriously, I would never walk up to you and be like, hey, bro,
no,
man, your woman
it's nonverbal communication. Men have nonverbal communication. You know
That's your
that.
taste.
I don't need.
You don't have to.
Ugly is your taste.
Sweeney, what you basically said, hey, bro, be happy
you tripping on
with
that
your
one.
ugly ass woman.
Right.
Like,
That's exactly what he just said. That's exactly what he
like,
just
hey,
said.
bro, you
I
good?
think
You
he's
go, go
speaking
ahead.
No, he
I'm
said
happy
I
for
think
you,
Sweeney's
bro. With
speaking
your
from
ugly
the
ass
man's
girl over there.
the
That's
other
cool.
men's perspective. Like
Probably
other
your
men
ugly
think
ass
she's
girl.
ugly. I think he's speaking from that
Yeah,
perspective.
like I picked her. She's attractive to me. You thinking she ugly matters nothing to me. Because I picked her. I put the babies in her. I put the ring on her finger. I put her in the house. I did all of this. And then you think I'm gonna move because you said, bro, I wouldn't have picked her. Why do I care?
Somebody echo.
I don't know if that's me or all right, it wasn't me. But yeah, it's the sit there and say, man, every man's head got to turn when my woman walks in a room. For what? So you can feel good about yourself, even if you go to Shannon route. If your girl ain't bad, then that's already a representation of you anyway. So the only way that you'll have to go get a bad chick on your arm just to fake the funk. Because if you're a bad boy, you're a bad boy anyway. Her being on your arm matters not, because guess what? You got all the things that matter anyway. You picked the fugly chick, but you happy. And her being fugly or fine ain't gonna determine nothing that goes on in your bank account or any business moves that you make. Why? Because that's how you got there to begin with. You're already there. No, Shannon, what I mean is that if you're saying that the bad chick is a representation, then that means you wouldn't have had an ugly chick to begin with. Because you're the baddest man in the room. So if you're the baddest man in the room and you decide to go mess with a ugly woman, what does it matter? You already the baddest man in the room. You made your choice. How other people see her ain't gonna matter at that point. But yeah, that's all I pretty much got to say. I could care less if anybody else think my woman don't have to turn heads in a room. She just got to turn my head.
A few heads.
Now, once she stopped turning my head, that's when we got a problem. When I stopped looking at her like, damn, that woman fine. Now we got an issue.
All right, Hank. We split on this right now. We done had a few dudes like, nah, the dude's tripping. Shandon said, nope, he a hoe about that. And he want everybody looking at his woman. Go ahead and be the tiebreaker, dog.
God damn, let me do it then. I said it before.
Is it a tiebreaker? I think I'm all alone.
I think we had two neutrals, one.
No, somebody got called. Somebody called him a bitch. The other one was like, "You tripping, bro?"
Yeah. So we got two strong opinions. So we need a tiebreaker.
Well, look, I said it before, man. My woman got to be good enough to look at, and if she's not good enough for y'all to look at, then I got to reevaluate my taste in women. So yeah, I want a beautiful woman. You know, I beautiful outside as well as inside. I don't have a problem with it. Now, you know, I ain't wrong with an ugly chick. I done got caught on a drought season and knocked down the ugly chick, so I can't say nothing about that. But you know, they won't stay with her. You know, because I know sliding her through the back door at a Regent Hall in Murray State, that wasn't the type of woman I was going to take out on the regular.
Not during the drought, Hank. Not during the drought.
We've all hit the drought.
All the drought season, baby. I don't know, maybe y'all keeping it real. Y'all might not have to deal with the drought. I had to deal with the drought though. I ain't gonna lie.
I appreciate you keeping it real, Hank. Straight up.
Shoot, what dude up here gonna say he never? Never mind. All right, Clout Jones.
All right, I'm gonna say I'm inclined to kind of agree with Sweeney a little bit, to the degree of like at the end of the day, it is my woman. Like I'm choosing a woman who's attractive to me, right? So whether she turns heads or not is kind of irrelevant, because if she turns my head, that's really all that matters to me. Now, at the same time, you know, all of us, your fantasy is you want your girl to be the baddest girl in the room on like a fantasy level, right? You want her to turn heads, but for me, it's like I want her to turn heads for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times, a woman might walk in the room and turn heads, and it's like it's not necessarily for the right reasons. It could be because her dress is too tight. It could be because her titties is spilling out the top. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want people to turn heads at my woman because not only because of her beauty, but because of like the grace and swag that she carries herself with, the style that she dresses with. You know, I feel like those things, when you're looking for a partner, are a little bit more important than the immediate wow factor. You know, the wow factor is great, it's wonderful, but at the same time, sometimes that can be embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, you might have the girl with the big old booty that turns heads every time you walk in, but then you get tired of walking into a nice restaurant and everybody's looking at your woman's ass. You get tired of going to a wedding. You get tired of being in conservative places and everybody just all on your wife's ass. There can be circumstance, because everybody says, yeah, I want my wife to be that eye magnet, but let's be real. When you actually got that girl with you that is that eye magnet, a lot of dudes can't really actually handle that, and don't actually really want to deal with the attention that comes with that, which is why we're always talking about, modesty with dress, and we talk about all these different things. People don't want their girl going out to clubs and all of that on their own and stuff like that. Like, all of that is taken into account. So for me particularly, it's like, yes, she has to be beautiful, but it's most important that she's beautiful to me. Now, on the last thing that I definitely agree with Sweeney on is like, yo, if I feel like I'm that dude, so I feel like when I walk in the room, I'm turning heads anyway. So whether my woman is turning heads or not, it doesn't matter, because all eyes is going to be on me when I walk in the room. You know what I'm saying? And by proxy, by me being the flyest dude in the room, any woman that's with me is going to be seen at that level or that tier by proxy. It's like, what am I like that's just how it's gonna be. Like nobody says Michelle Obama's not amazing, because like, no, like, I mean, she's not the baddest woman in the world, if we're being honest, but the fact that she's rolling in there with Obama, the president, that's why she's seen as who she is. Like, so the woman I'm with, I'm gonna elevate her anyway, because I feel like I'm that guy. I feel like I'm that force to be reckoned with. And so it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, it really don't matter. Again, as long as she's beautiful to me, and she does something for me, and she turns my head, and she doesn't embarrass me, and she doesn't like bring me negative attention, that's all that matters to me.
Hey, Cloud.
Hey, Clout, I'm good with your woman having the titties out, as long as my women don't. I want them to be
right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say that one thing though. I don't have to push back against one thing though. I didn't say that I would be that dude. I said, whether you got a bad chick, if you got a bad chick, then that's already an indication that you're already that dude. So if you that dude and you pick an ugly chick, that ain't gonna make you any less that dude. You already there. You just pick the ugly one.
But let's be real. Like, most people's first pick wouldn't be a Michelle Obama, but that doesn't make Obama any less that dude, because his wife is not like a supermodel. And then look on the other hand, Trump's wife was a whole supermodel, damn near, and everybody didn't respect his wife to the same level that they respected Michelle. So I really think it depends on the dude. You get what I'm saying? It depends on the dude that she's with, and how she carries herself.
And nobody want Daddy Bush's wife. I ain't gonna lie, she is not turning nobody's heads.
That man said Daddy Bush.
The big bush, not the middle bush. Nobody want neither of them.
Big Bush.
Wow. You talking about Barbara Bush? You talking about Barbara Bush, man?
Yeah,
might be talking about
Laura.
R.I.P.
No, I thought you were talking about Laura Bush.
No, he talking about Barbara Bush.
What Eddie Griffin say? She look like the mom from Damien Omen.
Yo, they age like milk, you know that. But Luis, let's get you in there, Chief.
So my take is that, I really like how Sean kind of broke it out. I think it does matter at what stage of your life you're in. And I think for me, speaking where I'm at, I want a woman that leaves a lasting impression when she walks into a room, not only with her beauty, but also with her essence. The way she carries herself, the way she talks to people, the way she works the room, the crowd, right? Like, you could take her to a company party or winter ball or a fundraiser event, and she'll have other men not only looking at her aesthetics, but also how she interacts with other people, and she'll be like, wow, who is that woman? And sort of, once you find out that she is taken, you want to know, who is this type of man who has this woman, and what type of attributes does this man have, right? Because that attracts other people to you, so you become an attractive couple. That to me, it like has to be carried through and through. The confidence, the ability to kind of work the room and lead with her feminine essence. I know that we hop on just the only look part, but if she's only going to just look good and stand there and not say anything, and you have to go into multiple crowds of different places and interact with other people who are you're networking, investing, and stuff like that, because they're an extension of us. They're not an accessory that we add on and take off. They're an extension of us, and sort of they need to also be able to hold their own weight in certain spaces, with certain people, right? And I think that that's another attribute, but definitely my chick got to be bad, not only physically, but also be able to carry that spiritual essence with her everywhere she goes.
Indeed. Be mad where you go. I'm like, you next. All right. What you got, be mad?
Y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Luis, that sounds great. I'm here for that. You know, you want to have someone that's beautiful inside and out. I kind of put it like this. At the end of the day, you should choose the woman that matches you best, that has all the attributes that you're looking for, that not only is beautiful, but is respectful, that is loving, that is kind, and has a joyous spirit. But with that aside, yeah, she got to be fine. I ain't playing with y'all. Like, I'm in the entertainment industry, okay? I'm in the modeling industry. You know, I ain't never met a dude with money in my life that had an ugly woman, ever, unless she was with him from the ground up. I mean, right there with him, like shoveling,
only
right
old
there,
money.
putting that work,
Only old
putting
money.
that work in, like next to him.
How does that make? But how does that make it any different when it comes to attractiveness, though?
You mean being physically attractive?
Yeah, you just said that you never knew a rich dude who didn't have no pretty chick unless she started at the bottom. But what difference does that make when it comes to attractiveness?
No, what I'm saying is that I'm sure she's attractive to him, and that's what matters the most. But I'm saying that outwardly attractive to most people, I ain't never seen a dude that was overly successful and financially. You gotta remember though, she was more successful than he was. She was the star. He was up and coming. That's different. And she was way more attractive back in the day when she was with Escape. So that's not the same argument. But
Wait,
no, but
who Escape? You talking about Tiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a trick. You got to go back to Escape days.
Right, exactly.
She transformed.
She was tight. She was tight. She was tight during the Escape days, straight up. And again, she had the money. She had the fame. She had all that. Compared to now, she was tight back then. What you mean?
It ain't hard to be tight compared to now, but I'm saying like,
her look. No, she was. No, she wasn't.
She looked way better back then than she does now.
Look better, but she still.
I was there. Yes, she was.
The sound of her voice.
You better go back and YouTube some of those music
listen,
videos.
the internet exists. We can pull up
those music videos.
If I get a chance to talk, I'll break it down, but I'll let them finish.
All right, let's let B-Man finish his answer before y'all get us canceled.
Exactly.
This man podcast bigger than all the people. All right, go ahead, B-Man. Finish up.
Yeah, no, but at the end of the day, like, no, I can't be the best looking dude, like, in the couple, in a relationship. That can't happen. I know I'm a model, but I can't be the best looking one, straight up. So yes, like physical attributes are extremely important. She represents me. She'll represent my last name if she's my woman, if she's my wife. And the other thing too, if she's tight and she's fine and everything, when we had them kids, she gonna have that snapback. She got to come back from that. You know what I'm saying? So having her body together and all that. See, there you go, Sweeney. I know you ain't putting that on, Sweeney. You over here talking about you good with the fugly chick. I know you ain't talking.
She wasn't that tight
with
back
the
then.
fugly.
I'm sorry. That was 99. That was Escape Days. She wasn't that tight.
Well, anyway, that's fine.
Everybody was ugly in the 90s. You know what the girls looked like when I was in high school? All of them. Everybody was ugly in my high school. In the 80s, all the girls was ashy and black and ugly. What y'all talking about?
Now, Chili, that's a different story. Now, Chili was bad.
Oh, Lord. Chili always is bad.
Hey, be mad. You done?
Yeah. I mean, everybody jumping in. Yeah, I'm
Nah, so
done.
we got to
She
hear
got to
from
be
the
fine.
OGs of the '90s, though.
Yeah,
Go
I see
ahead and
that.
have
I
a
see
debate
that.
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. She
Y'all
got to
had
be
a debate
fine.
real quick.
That's what I got.
Because when I went and looked at what she looked like in the '90s, that look was in that super light,
Light skin. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
She
that
was
look was
still
in.
she was still not the most attractive woman, and that's
Not
the
to me,
whole
no,
thing.
she wasn't.
See, but
I
that's the
don't think that's the argument, Ricky.
no. I'm gonna make a point. I'll make the point. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh,
that's
okay.
the thing, right? So the same way Shannon just, hey, she looked better back then. Same, hey, it's subjective. So who am I to pick a woman based on your preference? You like I don't think Tiny was ever attractive to me.
Okay. I think it's more so on the point of we can tell there's a general consensus of men who are like, okay, there's an attractive person in the room versus that's your type in particular. You know what I'm saying? Some guys like long legs, 5'9", you know what I'm saying, big boobs, whatever. Some like them shorter and some like them, wide hips, big butt. I mean, some like them dark skin, some like them light skin. Some like them long hair, some like it short like Tony Braxton. Like, or Halle Berry did. Like, you can have your flavor, but at the end of the day, you're looking at who's overall attractive in general. Like, okay, she's an attractive person. That's an attractive person walking in the room. Is that my type? No. So I'm not trying to go fuck her, but she's attractive. But this one over here, oh, that's my type. I'm jumping on that all day.
But I don't think anybody's choosing like relatively unattractive women. Like, you're not gonna go out and try your best to get with the ugliest woman in the room. You don't get with a fairly attractive room. But what that dude is basically talking about, like, my woman got to be the baddest chick in the room. If there's other women in the room, I want my woman to walk in and every man's head in the room turns.
Yeah,
like that.
Let me give my
bit.
answer because I think that's kind of what my answer kind of suggests right there. So men, especially men of today, millennials, I guess, on up, men can be very vain and they can be extremely superficial. And that's what we saw in that video. All right. So the world's general overview or general consensus on beauty is that beauty is symmetry. And if we're talking about a woman, it's usually soft, delicate features. Everybody, man and woman alike, know when the dime just walked in the room. Look at every other woman's face. Because they fixing their hair, they doing like, oh shit, a woman that looked better than me just walked in, and every dude, whether he's with his woman or not, are looking like, God damn, they acting like they dropped their wallet so they can catch a peek, right? So we all know where we have a general consensus on what beauty is. So that is more objective, but attractiveness, like Ricky was saying, is subjective. And one of the things I'd like to highlight here is that as you get older and as you mature, you realize that a lot of these superficial dudes that are being extremely vain all the time, they don't understand what a real woman is. And a real attractive woman, a real beautiful woman is a total package, right? So one of the things I started to really get into as I got older is when you're asking a girl, it's like when I moved to Houston, everybody fucking pretty out here, man. There's nothing but pretty women. So, a girl flipped her hair, was like, I'm the baddest bitch in here. And I'm like, so? There's a Jamaican Egyptian chick over there. There's a Blasian chick over there. Of course you pretty. What else you got? What else you got? Everybody pretty in here, right? So attractiveness is subjective. And I was started to look for women that are the total package. And here's why that is important. Because when you have a woman that looks good, but is ugly on the inside, she don't cook, she don't clean, she's extremely rude, she's not hospitable, she has no manners, all of that type of stuff, that woman does not stay attractive to the group of men for long. All right. So when you grow up and men have wives and they have real women, you start to notice the men that chose the actual attractive women, the actual real draft picks out here, because they are the total package. It's like, damn, look at the way this woman take care of his kids. Look at the way she hold them down out here in these streets. Look at, like, you see what I'm saying? So that's the type of woman I've actually always went after, because if you actually look at how vain men are, they leave those women alone. Those women are boring because they only got 300 Instagram followers. So I've always been the dude to be like, y'all don't see this chick? I know her hoodie big as hell, but y'all don't see that ass under that hoodie? I've always seen it. I've always
Hell
see it.
yeah, you see that shape.
Dudes,
You see
dudes
the
love
shape.
the ones with the ass out, the titties out. I'm trying to guess what it looked like under that big ass hoodie, right? So I'm just saying that's my advice to dudes. Understand that women come in a total package, and if you can spot the diamond in the rough that's not too attractive at the moment to dudes because she's not putting herself out there like that. And let me tell you the hairstyle these women wear. They love that side part under shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like tucked behind their ear, super conservative. It don't get in their eye when they studying. That chick is what I think Kevin Samuels called an adjustable six. Because when it's ball night, when it's gala night, you know, we got the alpha ball coming up, and she put that hair up in that big ass bun. She wear them earrings. She put on a little bit of makeup. Everybody like, yo, who that? She been on the campus the whole time, bro. She been out here the whole time, bro. Y'all just don't know how to look for them. So that's my advice on that.
So that's also what we call.
Oh damn!
Oh wow!
Oh, I take all
I
that.
told y'all.
Yeah, she basically real funny looking. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, I got a whole nother photo. There you go.
There we
What about
go.
that?
There we go.
That's early.
There we go.
That gotta be early. That's
I ain't gonna lie.
That's
She wasn't
Photoshop.
That's Photoshop and makeup, nigga. That's what it is.
No,
That's
I mean, think about it.
That's her.
You got
That's the real
her
her.
in a restaurant.
That's her.
That's the real her. That's her just chill out the bed. This right here is her outside. With the highlights and stuff, that's her outside. That's her dressed up out with her girls.
That's her doing a photo shoot.
Let me hit a few points.
Whatever.
Quick,
I'm not getting into that one. I don't really care.
Since I seem to be the only motherfucker, and I think my man B Madden is with me, that's like beauty matters, right? First of all, it's a few things that you guys were saying. Like generally, beautiful women hold their own in a crowd. Generally speaking, I mean, there's exceptions where a woman is just super introvert and don't like to, but she typically don't go out anyway. So if a woman is out in an event or in a crowd, or she's going somewhere, y'all going to the Super Bowl party, she's fine. She knows how to talk to people. So that's a talking point that we use just to, I don't know, it just seems like it's just a talking point. Typically, fine women know how to work a room, right? And then, you know, beautiful to me, I heard about 3 times on the panel. But we all go by a general beauty standard. And the beauty standard is typically established by the community and the environment in which you grew up in. There was a time fat, obese people was fine to everybody in the land. Because if you were fat, it showed that you could eat. And you had money, you had gold coins and silver coins to be able to go buy food. So it's not so, but today that's totally flipped on its head. Society typically, so when we say beautiful to me, well, I know that sounds good. That's a good talking point. But the reality is what's beautiful to you is beautiful to everybody. We all kind of assume, we see a woman, we know a fine woman when we see one. So if she's beautiful to you, she's probably going to be beautiful to me too. And then let's make no mistake. The marketplace determines if you're that guy.
Facts.
I'm with you, Clout, but when you start saying I'm that man, you know, they're starting to say that, you know, if you rate yourself, then you sound like the women that when they say they're 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it started to sound like.
Oh,
and I know you don't really think like that, but it just sounded, you know, because I'm the man. You know, everybody thinks they the man. And the reality is you the man if the marketplace says you the man. But if your outcomes and your results don't show that, I don't give a damn what you think. What's happening is what is your value based on the sexual marketplace? And if that can be determined by how many baddies you get versus how many fuglies you get. If fuglies is the only thing that you can get, then you might want to hit the gym. You may want to work out a little bit. I work out every day, 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that not only because I want to be young and healthy and be able to throw a football with my young sons, but I want to fuck with the lights on. I want to look good.
Yo, I did not expect that.
I didn't expect that either.
I was ready for it, but I ain't mad at you.
I want to be the best looking physically.
Whole head out here putting
good
women
looking
in a scissor lock.
51-year-old man I can be.
In a full Nelson.
I got a lot of guys. Listen, I graduated high school in 1989. I'm class of 89.
I was almost born in 89.
And let me tell you something. Half of I've had 3 high school reunions so far. I've already had 3 of them. I've been out of high school over 30 years. And my thing is, every year that I go, I look at people. They got 1 foot. Some of these fellas got 1 foot in the grave, and they're younger than me. I'd be like, God damn, he just fell off. But I know why he don't trip off of beauty. He can't. Once again, the marketplace determines that. So the reality is everybody gets what they qualify for. And if you can't handle a baddie, that's a personality problem. If you don't want a woman's looking at, if you don't want guys looking at your girl, you worried about, you insecure, that sounds like a personality issue. I don't mind people looking at my girl, especially if we solid and I'm good. And so this just think about this, you guys. Who says money can't buy happiness? Broke niggas. Who says beauty is only skin deep?
Ugly
people. Ugly ass women.
The ugly folk. So the people that think that I'm shallow, and I know people are going, because that, you know, I'm not in the comments, but I'm sure people in the comments. So Shan is probably saying this. Listen, you probably the ones that's talking shit is probably the ugly girls.
Nobody says that.
Ugly ones. They're the ones that I wouldn't pick anyway. They're the ones that I would not date. But the good-looking women understand that good-looking matters. Same thing with men. So I just wanted to put that out there, you guys. You get what you qualify for. Beauty does matter. Your check sometimes is bigger the badder your chick is. It works like that. It depends on what level of what socioeconomic level you on. On certain socioeconomic levels, you are determined by who's on your arm. That is just what it is. What it is, fellas. I'm sorry, I didn't make the rules. And if you roll up in there, if you roll up in there with a chick that looks like you ain't got it going on, your checks, your deals, your contracts, your partners, and all that other kind of stuff might not be as good as if it would be if you had a baddie. I didn't make the rules.
I agree with a lot of
Shan, at the end of the day, success leaves signs like all day. It's just like you're talking about men that have nice watches, that have nice cars, always either have a beautiful woman on their arm or a gang of beautiful women around them. Because like you said, the marketplace chooses if you're that dude, the women are choosing that dude. They are the marketplace.
The marketplace.
I think you guys are speaking of like a superficial type of success though. Because there's a lot of like for example, you're talking about there's signs of success. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, right? There's a guy out there who has the Rollie, who has the Bentley, who has all of that, and is a millionaire. There's a guy who has none of that and is a billionaire. So all of what y'all saying sounds good. Like, for example, I agree with most of what Shannon said, but he was saying how there's a universal standard of beauty. That's unequivocally false, and that's the reason why a lot of the time the baddest girls from high school, or like after high school, usually the girls that are the baddest after high school are the ones who weren't the baddies in high school. And the reason why is because niggas really cannot assess beauty very well. In high school, they cannot see the signs of where she's going. They can't see it. They don't notice her. And then they're shocked and surprised when this girl is the baddest chick that they've seen when she's 25. And it's like, certain dudes go for those girls that nobody was checking for because that matched their standard of beauty. So this universal standard of beauty idea is like, it's not realistic. You might have a girl that you think is the baddest girl in the world, and she turns heads for a lot of dudes, and you take her in another room and she doesn't turn heads for those dudes. So it's all subjective. So I get what you're saying. Like you want to pick a beautiful woman. You don't want someone that's ugly. But at the same time, beauty is always going to be subjective. So how are we going to pretend that there's some universal standard when it's always
what room is that?
We're talking about two different people.
Yeah.
I can give you a perfect example. For example, in some rooms, I could get a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, thin white girl, no titties, no ass. In some rooms, I take that girl into a room, and she is the 10 in that room. There's some girls where I take her there's some rooms where I take her. I might take her to a club in Atlanta, and she's no longer the 10 in that room because the 10 in that room got a big ass, big titties, and a 42-inch weave. So it really depends. Now, if I go to Latin America, the same girl that was the baddie in Atlanta is not the baddest chick in the club in Argentina, and she's not, and that girl's not the baddest chick in the club in Russia. So I'm just saying, everybody has different tastes.
But Cloud, you take me to the extreme saying she's not the baddest,
You
right?
really are.
That's just if we talk.
That's
about
what the video was
right?
about. The video was about the guy saying his girl got to be the baddest, which is
but
subjective.
Right? I'm just saying, right? So if we talk in basketball, you got one Mount Rushmore. That's 4 dudes. That don't mean that there are 50 more dudes or that are amazing. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is Halle Berry, you know, in the 2000s to 90s or whatever.
What
or for
room
women,
she gonna be ugly?
For women, Boris Cujo.
There's no room she gonna be ugly.
Some people
There's no room.
But there are rooms where she's not the baddest.
Rooms.
Period. It's
There's
not
zero rooms where she's not
some people
beautiful.
are just attractive.
But there's rooms where she's not the baddest. Is my point. Halle Berry's beautiful, yes, but there's rooms where Halle Berry's beautiful. But you put her. Hold on. You put Halle Berry in a room with supermodels.
Any room.
That's what
she's
she
not
was in a
standing
room
out
with.
the same.
That's what she was with.
That was in a room when she was with.
Halle Berry is an actress. She stands out. Hold on. She stands. Hold on. Hear me out.
Woman in the world.
Just hear me out. She stands out in films against other actresses.
Most beautiful
but Halle Berry is
world.
not standing out against supermodels.
Clout,
she's not.
I've met Halle Berry.
Just let it go.
That's why she's not married to a billionaire. There's a million young girls that are married to billionaires, and Halle Berry's not one of them. Let's be honest.
She was voted. Hold on. She was voted most beautiful woman in the world 4 times.
Yet she's not married to a billionaire. Y'all are saying that success leaves signs. So why is she not married to a billionaire?
Marriage outcomes. Her
Don't
relationship
no
outcomes.
billionaire want a woman with all that.
So we're discussing beauty standards, right, Cloud? And I hear what you're saying. You said, this woman, a chick in Malibu ain't gonna get the same attention as a chick in Decatur. I understand. Flatback in Malibu works. Big booty works in Austin, Texas. I get what you're saying, but that was the environment that we were talking about. But to trigger Mike's point when he was talking about Kevin Samuels, that's why Kevin stopped at the face, because typically the face it doesn't matter where you are across the planet. Going all the way down, that depends how big your titties are, if you got a flat ass, if you got a flat back, what kind of hips, what kind of thighs you got. But the face,
he said fresh face out the shower.
And so that's why I was always fresh face out the shower and no makeup. So the thing is this: when you talk about people like Halle Berry, we use Beyonce. It doesn't matter who you use. Somebody that we know is beautiful, no matter where they go. There is a standard that says, "Damn, she's bad." And the thing is, I've met Halle Berry twice. And and this is years ago. This is in the 90s when Tupac was alive. Halle Berry was so fine, she looked unreal. She looked like a porcelain doll. It was weird to see. And we discussed it on set. We was like, almost thought she was a robot or was manufactured to a degree because she was so unrealistically pretty. It was weird to see. And if anybody would walk in any room with a Halle Berry, you're going to get a certain level of status, the guy that walks in with her. Now I get you. She ain't married. She couldn't keep a husband. She lost how many shit?
But Michelle Obama is.
We went all up and down the road. I got that. But the question that was scrolling across the bottom is, when my woman walks in the room, I want everybody to say, "Damn." Now you want to get into how her degrees and how good of a wife she is, and how good of a cook she is, and how good of a person, how good of a mother she is. That's a whole different question. That's a question that we'll answer probably next or on another show. But this question here is, does it matter how beautiful you want? Do you want other people to regard your wife as beautiful, or your girl as wife, girlfriend, or whatever? Do you want other people to regard her as beautiful? And when we say, well, she's beautiful to me, well, your standard is typically all of our standards. So the answer is still it's a circular answer. It's still a roundabout yes.
Well, the dude's video in the video wasn't really just talking about your woman being regarded as beautiful. He was very specific about, like, he like, if we replay it, he's basically saying, like, if she's not the absolute baddest in the room, like if everybody's heads are not turning when she walks in the room, then he don't want her. And I'm just saying, in reality, most women are not that. Like in reality, most women don't walk in a women's room. So it's like, it sounds sweet. It sounds nice. It sounds beautiful. Like it's a nice idea. But the reality is, most of the women that men choose are not that. So it's cap. Like, bro, like you can have a beautiful woman, a gorgeous woman who does not turn heads like that when she walks in the room. Like, let's just be real.
That's true.
Like,
I will say this too.
By definition, that's
average.
But
that's why I kind of agree with Dub. I agree with Dubs, because when he said, like, that sounds kind of like how the women be talking, like 6 foot, 6 figures, 6-pack. Like, it just sounds like a little bit overinflated. It sounds
like
bro.
the women that talk like that. I got you.
All right, let's wrap this one up. I got to get to these super chats, and we're gonna get to the next topic. If you just tuning in, welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. Let's get these super chats rolling. BZ, what's going on, my man? $5. Sweeney, we move in social circles. If the circle don't approve, she might not make it. Public enemy number 1, Bird Gang, $2. Give me the baddie that turn heads. I don't know, do you? Never mind. AL, $2. Most billionaires' wives are very average looking. You see, Jeff Bezos switched up. I don't know about the one he picked.
Look how that worked out.
Yeah, most billionaires' wives were wives before they became billionaires. Show me a billionaire with new money.
Yeah, that's different, obviously. But that's the thing, though. Once you like, if you out there single, you got new money. Of course, you automatically gonna attract some of the most beautiful women in the world. To not attract the most beautiful women in the world is kind of weird. So that's why I was trying to. No, that's why I was trying to. That's why I said I understood what you were saying, Shane. But I was like, if you're already that dude, those women gonna be there anyway. So you would never find yourself picking an ugly chick unless you just purposely went out your way to say, okay, I see all these fine ass women over here. I'm going with Respucia over here just for the hell of it. Just because I like the way she looked. I like the way she cooks for me.
All I know is that when I'm talking to the fellas and I say I got a date tonight or I'm dating this new chick or whatever, everybody asks what she look like. Let me see. Drop a pic in the group chat and whatever.
Is she nice?
What she look like.
Who asked is she nice?
They don't ask if she's nice. They don't ask if she's a Christian. She believe in Jesus. They don't ask none of that other stuff. What kind of money she got? What did she do? What she looked like. Just like in all the female group chats, they ask, "Oh, girl, what does he do? Do he got money? What does he do? Is he successful?" Then they want to see a picture after that,
so they could take them. All right.
And the females say they only date 6-figure dudes, but they be dating Ralph that work at KFC. That's what I'm saying. It's the same situation. People be capping.
Hey, Matt. Hey, B Matt. Let me ask you something though. Say for instance, you do send them that picture, right? And all of them be like, she all right.
That's
and you decide, but she's good to you, and you marry her. You want to know what they're gonna say to you on her wedding day? Man, you are very beautiful. Miss B Madden, you're a very beautiful woman. Keep doing your thing, girl. You're like, they gonna lie to her. Why? Because that's your wife now.
Right. Because that's respect, though. That's respect that they have for me. That
So
they're
what does
gonna
it matter?
translate to her. Because it's fake.
So what?
It's fake. It's fake.
That's literally my point.
You can have
I gotta get the new joint started.
Real quick, Trigger Mike, just to this point. We all know if we ugly too. We know.
Men know.
Let's keep it real. So if the ugly homie got an ugly girl, we can be like, yeah, man, that's beautiful, because we in our head saying that's what you qualify.
It's on par.
But if I see, if I look at my man B Madden with somebody, I'm like, yo, B Madden. If B Madden pull up with a 3, that's 200 pounds, I'm gonna be like, something going on. Like I'm gonna have to ask him, like, blink twice. Are you okay? Something
you can't be a
model. I know my man be mad.
Hold on, wait. Let me ask you a question though, Shan.
I expect Shan to say something.
All right,
let's keep it. Hold on, real quick, Trigger. Hold on, Trigger. Before we move on. Hold on, wait, Trigger. Let me get this out real quick. Let me get this. I got 10 seconds. Let me get this out. Let's say, for instance, though, if Trigger does, if B-Man does pull up with a 4 or a 3, and he like, bro, you know, you look too good. You too good for that ugly. You gonna be like, well, what is she doing right then?
All right, for the next topic, we got parenting versus partnering. We got a video for that. Stay tuned.
Your husband listened to everything you told him to do. He wouldn't be your husband. He would be your child. You see, there's a big difference between parenting and partnering. And marriage is supposed to be an opportunity for two people to come together with their own ideas, their own opinions, and challenges that you guys get to work through in deciding what is best for the both of you to continue growing and moving forward together. But your controlling spirit will trick you into believing that by you being in control and dictating what happens and when and how, that you will just feel better, that things will just be more efficient that way. But what I want to remind you of is that your controlling spirit is only an opportunity for you to lose yourself, build up a whole bunch of resentment, and eventually burn out. You understand?
Ladies, very articulate. All right, Luis, we're going to start with you. What you got?
Parenting versus partnering. This is interesting. One of the things that she led with was, two people coming with their own ideas and their own belief systems coming together and joining, and sort of, I didn't see any middle ground of what was really attaching these people together, right? Because if they're not really cohesive, they're not really a good mix. I mean, they're always going to be conflicts in relationship. You know, there's always that tension. But I mean, the way that it was presented, it was more of like um, that. It seemed like the weaker link is going to be guided, right? Whether it's the woman or whether it's the man. At least that's the perception that I took it as. Um, but no, like real partnering was presented. Like, what is that? What is that middle ground? What is that conflict resolution? And sort of for me, I think one of the things that I took away from the video is that I think that it's a bit contradictory. I think that the premise of it's a little bit contradictory for me, at least.
All right. We'll go to Sir Hill.
So just a little context. So what's the question here? Because I heard what she was saying about, you know, some woman wants to be controlling versus. I'm not sure where she's going with that. And the reason I say that because depending on who you're with, their personality is going to be what it is. And if you're with a person and she's just controlling or she's bossy, that's just part of a personality, and it doesn't mean that she's trying to parent you, right? You kind of have to know who you're with. But I do think to that point, though, if you're going to be with somebody, you do have to be careful that if you come into a relationship with that perspective and with that mindset, that could be a turnoff, and you will find yourself less attracted to that person because you kind of feel like you have to control them. So I'm not completely sure where she was going with that, but I can't see how being controlling could affect the relationship and be a turnoff, especially for a guy.
All right, I want to play it one more time, just so you guys can get the context here.
If your husband listened to everything you told him to do, he wouldn't be your husband. He would be your child. You see, there's a big difference between parenting and partnering. And marriage is supposed to be an opportunity for two people to come together with their own ideas, their own opinions, and challenges that you guys get to work through in deciding what is best for the both of you to continue growing and moving forward together. But your controlling spirit will trick you into believing that by you being in control and dictating what happens and when and how, that you will just feel better, that things will just be more efficient that way. But what I want to remind you of is that your controlling spirit is only an opportunity for you to lose yourself, build up a whole bunch of resentment, and eventually burn out. You understand?
Okay, yeah, I got the context now. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go to you, Hank. What are your thoughts about it? Parenting versus partnering.
Yeah, I don't believe in partnering. I don't that me and the woman is not the same, so we're not partners. So, and I assume she's talking to the women, right? Correct? Because parenting, that's the only people I know that want to parent a grown ass person is a woman. So, yeah, that's a problem. And for any man to accept that, you need to let your nuts drop or something. And I don't understand that, dude. I just don't. I mean, you looking for these what we call them homosexual dudes you can control and manipulate and dictate on everything they do. And if that's what you want, so be it. Yeah, but that shit's gonna get old for a dude after a while. He's probably gonna get tired. His homeboy is gonna be making fun of his ass, talking about she got your ass pussy whipped. Yeah, that doesn't sit well with him.
All right. We'll go to Sean, then Ricky.
Bruh, man, Hank, you just took the words right out of my brain, bro. This is the thing, man. It depends on how you want to define job, right? If you're a man and you believe in like this is my position in the household, shorty, we're not partners like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving this car. Sit your ass down, look pretty. Real talk. So it depends on how you look at gender roles. If you look at gender roles in that way, then I don't need you to be my partner in that way. And I don't need you to be opinionated. And I think too often in relationships, people think that having a title means that you become somebody's parent. I don't need a fucking mother. I stopped listening to my mother when I was a teenager, when I was 14. And you ain't gonna fill that void. It's not gonna happen. You're not my mom. I'm not your dad. But I am gonna run this crib. You feel me? And so I'm gonna need you to fall in line or keep it pushing.
All right. Go ahead, brother Rick.
Yeah, I agree. I said what Sean Antonio said verbatim, but I think the part that everybody not that she mentioned that nobody mentioned yet, I ain't gonna say missed, but hasn't mentioned yet, is that in a lot of these situations where they say it's not good to mother a man, but y'all do it anyway, and then y'all blame the man for the undue stress y'all put on y'allself because you don't want to do it on his time.
Did you hear what I said?
Right? What y'all got to understand is that, again, if you don't like the way that man lead, move on. But whether you made a good choice, a bad choice, or a different choice, he's still the leader. He's still the leader. Like I said it many times. Y'all show is Jesus freaks and Bible thumpers. I want a man of God and all this until it come to y'all following the rules in y'all relationship. Oh, he my man, but I ain't got to listen. He my man, but he ain't the head. Y'all put yourself in a position of telling that man what to do and then get mad because you took on a role you wasn't supposed to. And then complain about I'm stressed out. I got to handle all this stuff because he da. You ain't never give him a goddamn chance.
Nope.
And then when he do, you don't like the way he do it. I don't like the way he wash the dish. I don't like the way I got to do it my way. That's all I got.
All right, go ahead and get to Sweeney. Sweeney, what are your thoughts about it?
I think, all right, so I took what she said a different way. I think, honestly, if she was on this panel right now, she would be 100% in agreement with everybody that already spoke. What I think she was actually doing was warning women who have that controlling nature. That's what she was doing. That's who she was speaking to. She was speaking to the women that say, I want a man to just do, why can't he just do what I ask him? Why can't he just do what I say? And she was telling them, like, you going into that relationship thinking you don't want a man that you can control, because at that point you become his mother. You don't want that. And on top of that, more than likely you're not going to get that because you can't make a man move. You can't make most men move against what they want, where they want to go, how they want to move. So you wind up frustrating yourself. He doesn't do the things that you think that you want him to do the way that you want him to do it. He's going to do it his way. And then you wind up on TikTok talking about how you taking on all the emotional labor in a relationship because you're stressing your damn self out. And then you get resentful. And then you want to start counting who does what and what does what. If he doesn't do it the way you do it, so you go behind him and do it yourself. Now you count and say, well, I had to clean the dishes today because he didn't do it the way I wanted him to do it. So now you feel like you're doing all the housework. Or now you feel like because you had to go work a few extra hours at work, he's not doing his job. She's warning women that if you have that controlling nature, you don't want to enter these relationships with men because they're not going to move the way you think they're going to move. And also it's going to drive you nuts. So I think she would agree with most of it. I think she would agree with every last one of y'all fellas that, hey, you're going to get with these type of men. They're not going to rock the way you think they're going to rock. And it's going to drive you crazy doing so.
All right, go ahead, Big Clap.
I mostly agree with the sentiments of what she was saying. I think that I don't think women should try to mother or parent men. You know, I definitely believe that. But I also agree with what Sean and Hink were saying as far as like the way she phrased it. Though it sounds like both outcomes were bad. Like it's like being a partner and being a parent. It's like both of those don't really sound like a good way for the relationship to function because both of those are dysfunctional. However, I did also see the perspective that Sweeney saw it from, where really, again, she's speaking to ladies. She's trying to tell them like, hey, ladies, like this attitude and this spirit and this energy is really only going to hurt you in the long run. And it's essentially going to ruin the opportunity for you and your quote unquote partner, for lack of a better word, to find that, you know, synchronicity, you know, in order to work together on the same accord.
Okay. Be mad.
Yeah, so I would have to agree with what Sweeney was saying in the sense of I understand that she was speaking to the women in this clip. Don't parent your man and all that kind of stuff because it's going to go to hell. I also agree with what Hinkenham was saying too, in the sense of I'm not your partner, I'm your man. I'm not your child, I'm your man. You know, I run the household. I need you to be my helpmate in this household. But what I also think too, we also have to remember she was talking to women, and the verbiage that's being used is partner because it sounds better. That's really what it's about. It's not really about this is a 50-50 partnership. No, this is we're life partners right now. We choose to do life together in this partnership. And I need you to do the shit I need you to do. And I'm gonna handle the shit I need to handle to make sure this household's taken care of. So you handle the shit inside the house. I'm gonna handle all the shit that makes sure that the roof stays going, the lights are still on, and I'm handling all the man shit. So that's how I read it. That's how I took it. And I think that's the best way the household will run. If you have anything less than that, you're going to run into those parenting problems because she thinks she can run you. She thinks she can tell you what to do. And at the end of the day, it's going to build a lot of resentment. And a lot of men aren't going to respond the way they think they're going to respond. The women think they're going to respond. And the relationship's going to go to hell in a handbasket. So that's what I got.
All right. Go ahead, Shan.
I don't really have much to add. I mean, I listen, I agree with everything she said, and I disagree with everything she said.
What?
She's speaking to the women with a controlling spirit. That's what she said. Controlling, yeah. If her word is speaking to the women, then great. I agree with everything she said. But like everybody else in the panel said, she started talking that controlling stuff. And that's why, Sweeney, you said that you think that she would agree with us. I don't know that she would agree with us because she started talking that partnering talk. And that partnering shit is a no-go. She was saying coming together and with your ideas, then you guys figure out what's best for the... Listen, gentlemen, hear me and hear me well. Women need structure. Even the ones who seem to have it all together, she needs structure too. I'm doing a show coming up. It's called Control. It's called In Control versus Controlling. Actually, I'm going to switch around. I'm going to call it Controlling versus In Control. A lot of women get controlling and in control mixed up because they don't want to be led. They just rebellious spirits that they have in the modern women today. They don't want nobody telling them nothing. And they're told that they don't have to listen to nobody. And so anytime a man comes along with some kind of control for his family, she wants to call that controlling. If she can't go somewhere because he sees that that's not best for her, he's controlling. Fuck that. Control your relationships, gentlemen. Control your relationships and everything and everybody in it. Everybody up under your roof, under your LLC, under your corporation, that's under your care. Control that. Don't get caught up in words, fellas. Don't let, and you know, they'll put it, oh, I don't like how that sounds. We don't give a fuck how it sounds. I don't care how you feel about what I'm saying. Don't let semantics guide the way you talk, gentlemen. You need to be in control of your relationships. Now, don't get me wrong. We need counsel. Women see stuff that men don't see. You need somebody to watch your six. You need somebody to say, babe, this is what I think. We all have advisors, but the decision lands on you, and you need to make sure that's clear early in the relationships. And if you haven't made it clear and you're in a relationship, you need to reestablish an understanding with your girl now before it gets too late. Remember, I'm twice married, twice divorced. I don't want you to go through what I went through. You need to be in control of your relationships. And so all that, we coming together with our ideas, and then we're going to vote. We're going to vote what's best. We're going to vote what car we buy. We're going to vote where we live. We're going to vote where the money goes. We're going to vote on this. No, you take counsel. You say, just like an attorney. That's my attorney. He represents me. Your attorney gives you counsel and advice. And then you tell your attorney what to go plead. That's the same way your relationships need to be. And so when she comes in here talking that partnering shit, just like Hink started it off, and every brother after him said the same thing. That partner stuff that's a slippery slope, and you don't want to go down that road. You need to let everybody know this is where I like how Mr. Let Go said it. This is where this bus is going. Would you like to get on? Because this is where it's going. If you want to get on my bus, going where I've already established, and this is why you guys have, fellas, young men particularly, you have to have a plan. This is where I'm going, and this is how I'm getting there. Would you like to accompany me? I have a spot in the co-pilot seat, and I have some buttons that I need you to push. And we will get there faster with you, but I'm going with or without you. Not, hey, you know what? I'm building a bus. You want to help me? I'm not really good at, I need some assistance when we could be 50-50 on building this, and we can, no, fuck that. Control your relationships and everything and everybody in it, fellas. That's the part of what she said that I don't agree with.
Shan, so let me speak another side to that. And I want to get your perspective and everybody, if it's okay, JR. So we don't want our women to mother us, but all of what you described sounds like a father. So how do we delineate between us parenting our women versus just being the man and being the leader?
I don't delineate a difference. Parenting, what's wrong with that? I don't have a problem with orchestrating everything that's going on in this symphony. I'm the conductor. And when I tell you to play, I want you to play that tune. And when I tell you to blow the horn, I want you to blow that horn. And
so what get this right? So
that's why a father passes along his daughter.
I just want to make sure I'm clear. So she can't mother you, but she can father her.
Yes. Yes,
that's why her father passes her on.
And women want that, because when you ask women, by and large, what are you looking for in a man? I want somebody that can show me something. Well, how can I show you? If I'm showing you, I'm teaching you. I want him to teach me something. I want to experience something. That is what the old ones too. Ones my age, the 50-year-old ones is like at 50s talking about, well, I want you to show me something, and I need to be able to show her something.
Well, I ain't never been there before. I ain't never been there before.
One at a time.
I've never been there. I've never been in that place before. I've never eaten that before. All the time.
I'm not going to parent my woman. I'm a coach her up. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to parent her anymore. I shouldn't have to do
tomato.
That. I'm a little bit of difference.
See, right? There you go, play with them semantics, Hank.
Tomato, Hank.
I'm not going. I'm
a coach up because she knows better. I just got to remind her every once in a while.
But think about what Hank is saying. Hank is talking about being the offensive coordinator. He's talking about providing the framework. This is my offense. Within the framework of my offense, you have some autonomy in these ways. It's like I'm the CEO. You can be the CFO, but it has to fit within the framework of what I have going on. You feel me?
I'm gonna say this.
Sean, it's play your position. Play your position. If I'm the head coach, you're not gonna be the CFO, CEO. You're gonna be the quarterback. Okay, you're gonna be the quarterback. If I call a running play over the headset, you're gonna run the damn ball. If I call a throwing play, you're gonna throw the damn ball. But there's some plays, but there's some
play in the huddle is a touchdown.
Hold on, let him finish.
Wait. I got you on that, Shan. But there are some plays towards a run pass option. If it's there, take it. If it ain't there, throw it. So you get a lot of autonomy there. You get a little bit of autonomy. But I need you to run the play that is called, or else you're not good for my team. And that way you get traded if you're not good for my team.
Well, that's why I said coaching, because you have that option. Parenting, you got to just do what I say, no questions asked.
B. Madden. And the problem with what you said, B. Madden, is coaches get fired every year. And so you may be a doofus. You may
That's
be a
true.
owner, or
it happens.
You know what I'm saying? And she got to follow your framework, and you a doofus, not you. But you know what I mean? So
I look at it like,
and what happens is if I get fired, that's fine. I'm gonna find another team, and I'm gonna get another quarterback and another offense that I'm gonna run with my framework and my damn plays. If we win a championship with my plays and my new team, then boom.
I'm gonna have to push back. I'm gonna have to push back against what Shannon said. I get that women are saying what they want, but they capping and they lying. Because if that was the case, a lot of them would be able to go up because to follow somebody is a choice. They only want to follow a man in the direction that they think they should be going in. So that's what they want. They feel like I want to go in this direction, and I'm only going to be willing to follow a man if he's going in that direction. Because if they was willing to follow a man, they had plenty of opportunities to follow a man. They've had plenty of them, and all of them turn right. The man was trying to turn left. They grab the steering wheel and turn right, and then their whole relationship blows up in their face. They say they want all of this, but what are they lifestyle? What is their actions telling you? And most of the time, it's they want to do their own thing regardless. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard fought to get these women to do what they, because they want what they want, and they've had 30 years to get what they want. They're gonna move how they're gonna move. They say a lot of stuff that sound good on these panels when you ask them questions. I can't hear you, Shannon. Go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I was saying when Sir Hill wipes his face over and over like that, he's bothered. So I know he want to cook us right now.
I'll let us go ahead and get it.
Real quick, I'm gonna throw it to Sir Hill, but Sweeney, and I hear what you're saying and what women want, and that's why women right now, today's women, are conflicted between nature and nurture. See, what they want internally, what's built into them, is what I'm talking about, but what we're seeing is what you're talking about. And so now women just don't know what the fuck to do because they're told by every corner, every facet of society that they can do this and they can boss this and all that, and then they don't need no man, all that extra stuff, and then shit falls apart in their life. And
but
so,
go ahead.
I hear what you're saying, brother.
No, I was about to say something funny though.
You're saying. I don't know. I don't have the answers to that. I don't have the answers to why women are fighting what's naturally for them versus what's normal for them, which is what nurturing is, which is what's taught and what's conditioned for. Women are being conditioned to be something that they're naturally not. Go ahead, Sir Hill.
I was gonna say, Shannon, you want to know how you fix that? By men at large, let them have it. Go ahead and be free. And I'm gonna be free too. And you're gonna find out how bad it is on the other side of that train. Let them do it. And then you go like, man, our grandfathers used to work themselves into an early grave trying to do that shit. They was working 70, 80 hours a week. Man, you get to what? You get to go golfing now, play football, play a little Madden, go to the cigar lounge, have a drink after work now. You got a little more back. You get to kick back now. Let them have it. Go be free. Because they gonna find out faster about what life looks like before we do. You just made our lives easier. I'll take it.
So what you guys are saying, it sounds good, like for guy talk. In real life, that doesn't work. And I don't think you would want a woman that you would have to spend your time. This is the car we're going to buy. This is the house we're going to live in. We're going to move here. I think framework, I 100% agree with that. But the whole purpose of a wife is for her to accentuate your life, to give you new ideas, to make you think about things in a better way. It's her job to take off pressures off of you. So if you're with a woman and you have to make more decisions because you have to think for two people now, and she can't think for herself, you have to make all the decisions for her. I guarantee you, it'll be sexy for a little bit, and after a while, you won't want her anymore because it's very difficult to sustain a level of respect for a woman who's your wife that you have to treat like a daughter. And it's the same thing for women as well. So I think while the woman was talking about women not parenting their man, I think it's true. Men, we can't get in the mindset that you are raising your woman. Now, you may have to help her develop in certain areas. You may have to coach her in certain areas. But if you move into the mindset where you're parenting her, it's only a matter of time before you find a woman who you don't have to put all that work in, who you don't have to raise, and you're going to go cheat with her because she offers you peace from the struggle of trying to raise a woman that you married. So I say this, you don't want to parent a woman. You need to lead her, and that's very different than parenting.
I think, and that's the point I wanted to make. Like when y'all say run this house, I don't run this house. She run this house, but I run her. You see what I'm saying? This is her domain. She's going to move in the best interest of us, right? But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, right? Ace boom coon, right? You want to have a woman that's capable. You want to have a woman that's capable. That's what y'all said earlier. Smart, intelligent, able to talk in the room, blah, right? You want that, right? You don't want to have to babysit your wife, right? You want her to be able to make those decisions that you would recommend without you, because that's like what Hink said. You coach her up. You let her know, hey, this is what you like. This is what we need. This is what we're not looking for. But I think the biggest misconception is that, or I ain't going to say it's a misconception. What I wanted to address is the daddy aspect, right? Most women, they want a man like their father, but they don't want They want the qualities he has, but they want to be led in the way they want to be led, right? They want you to apply the qualities that their father had, but the way they want you to do it, right? And every woman know, even though they won't say it with their mouth, they won't say it out loud, they won't say it in the conversation with you, right? But every woman know a real man don't move when a woman wants him to move. They know that. Even if I'm doing something for you, I'm gonna get to it when I get to it. Right? Because at the end of the day, we done said it before, we done said it again, we'll say it twice tonight, Shannon. If it all go wrong, if it falls apart, she ain't gonna say, you know what, I made a bad decision. They're gonna blame you.
Never. They ain't never gonna say that.
Well, look, I said it one time when we had a conversation before where JR asked a question about or played a video about we want us to woman tell us everything. And I told y'all then, no, she shouldn't have to call me for every goddamn thing because I don't want you to get on my goddamn nerves. So again, that's why I coach you up. So you can move and do things on your own that I taught you and that I showed you how to do. I need for you to be able to do that. And if you can't do that, if you can't function on your own, that's a problem. You're a dumbass, and I don't want to deal with a dumbass woman.
And Hank, I think I can clean this up a little bit. With the analogy I was using with football and everything, I mean, she doesn't have to be a rookie quarterback that don't know nothing. You got to install the entire system and all that kind of stuff. She can be like a Patrick Mahomes. She can be somebody that's competent, someone that can make decisions and whatnot as well, but you make the ultimate decision. She's making decisions inside the offense, who gets the ball, that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, these goals need to be accomplished. And you're right there with her the entire state. And you're also taking feedback too. So if she's seeing some things in the offense and in the defense that you can't see from the sideline, or you can't see from the booth upstairs,
call it audible.
You have to, right? They call it audible. They see something I didn't see. Okay, I understand that. But we're on the same team at the end of the day. And I'm also always going to take feedback.
No Willie Demon.
Everybody
No
has
Willie
a household credit card.
But that's
all of y'all have.
Everybody
here.
That's what you call a good coach to do that. And most parents ain't gonna take the feedback from the kids. So you parenting your grown ass woman, you ain't gonna really want to take her feedback because you feel like you're the parent. What you say goes. Shut up and sit down.
Right, exactly. Which is why I wanted to clean that up a little bit for those viewers.
I got you, big brother. Right on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the credit card part out. Go ahead, JR.
No, I think Sean wanted to say it. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah,
go ahead, Sean.
My last point is that when they say be stubborn with your vision, but be flexible with the details, I think that's how I look at it. This is the overarching vision. But in terms,
I like that. Who says that, Sean? You made that up?
No.
That was nice. Nice.
I'm just amazing though. But I mean, if we're trying to get to 63rd Street, it may be 5 ways to get there. I'm not going to micromanage how we get there, right? But just know that we're headed to 63rd Street. Don't go nowhere else. I don't care if you go left, right, or whatever you do, bend whatever blocks to get there, but this is where we're going. You got autonomy in terms of how you get there, though.
I just want to ask questions to the panel and just for people watching. So let's say hypothetically, your lady or your wife, she advised you not to do something, right? And you went against it and come to find out you was wrong. How do you address that situation?
I go with my hat in hand. And I'm quick to say, damn, I fucked up. You was right. I should have listened to you. I didn't. I thought I knew better. You was right, babe. I was wrong.
You was right.
So fast to say that.
You got to take that L on that one, dog. Yeah.
You was right. Ain't
right on
there.
I
don't understand why people is so worried about being corrected. If you wrong, you wrong.
Amen.
You wrong. The truth is the truth. Like if she told you, hey, babe, I messed this one up. You was right. You was right this time. Right? You might be right the next time. That way you can make the appropriate adjustments. Like, and nobody's above correction. Nobody's above it. Like if you're wrong, just say you're wrong. That way you can address it and move past it. Right? But I don't care. right? You just setting yourself up for the okie doke, and at the end of the day, it affects both of y'all in the same way. Everybody. So what Jay-Z say? Everybody suffer when the family feud, baby. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, y'all in this thing together, and both of y'all gonna get burnt by one fire. It don't matter. That's so stupid to me, but who am I?
And she's still gonna listen at me the next time.
Yeah, again, like I said, you got to take that L, and just hopefully she's not that type of woman that's gonna throw the shit in your face. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully she doesn't do that. But that's just me.
I think that's what kind of really most men, and this is just speaking for not necessarily men that have that, like, because you're gonna be hard pressed to control a woman in today's time. But I think most men want a woman that's not argumentative with every decision that he makes, has to want to control the situation all the time, has to try to move him any the way she wants him to move him. And then if he does make a mistake, be understanding enough not to throw it in his face. I think most men would be okay with that and be able to get down the road with a woman. But the moment she starts trying to move him a certain way, and every single time he tries to make a decision, she starts questioning him. Are you sure you want to do that, or this, that, and the third? That's when men start to feel like, well, damn, you got with me, you gonna trust me, or you're not gonna trust me. And I get it. If a man continues to fuck up, or he's been a royal fuck up, you got every right not to trust him. But if he's not giving you a reason not to trust him, and then he's doing everything that's in the best interest, and yeah, we all not perfect, we're gonna make our mistakes. But every single time you throw it in the face, if he makes a mistake and then you take a little bit away from him, or you try to control him, that's when you're gonna run into problems. But I think most men will be okay with a woman that's not argumentative as hell, not willing to divert away from the plan every chance she get, willing to compromise or to the most degree, and not willing to hang you out to dry every chance she gets.
So to that point though. Typically in these conversations, we say we want a soft woman. She's not combative. I think all of us want that. But I think the thing that we need to mention as well is we need a thinker and a woman who has an understanding of when she needs to be vocal. So I'll give you an example. So I've been working out since I was 20, right? 20 years old. Before that, I was just twigs, just black twigs. And so I used to do a lot. So I'm a very big eater. So when I was about 22, 23 years old, I mean, I would be lifting weights, but I would go to Burger King, right? And I'd get 2 double Whoppers with cheese, both fries, 2 drinks. I would just eat because I'm young, right? And my wife was like, "Babe, you need to go and get your blood work done." And she didn't come to me and say, "Sweetie, you need to go get your blood work done, honey." No, she said, "The way you've been eating, you need to go get your blood work." So I went and got it. Come to find out my cholesterol was high, and I was about to have to get on something called Lipitor. I say that to say, if my wife was the quiet person who didn't have the mindset or the wisdom on knowing when to be a little bit more vocal and a little bit more assertive, then my stubbornness could have got me in trouble. And so I say this, men who are strong, you have to have a woman who is an equal complement to that strength, because she'll know how to get to you and how to speak to you in a way that you'll listen. So we need our women to be soft when necessary, but we also need our women to be strong and vocal when we can be stubborn in our own selves.
How you feel about that, Shane? You agree? That's how you feel about that, Shane. Shane, you agree?
Oh, me? Oh, hell, with everything you said.
Okay.
In fact, let me take it one step further. To Sweeney and Hink. Allow me to give the young kings a cheat code. This is a cheat code, fellas. Hink said, "Don't throw it up in my face." Sweeney said, "Don't remind me every chance you get." Fellas, this is a personality cheat code that'll make you better. Throw it up in your own face every chance you get, and allow her to throw it up in your face every chance she thinks about it. Do not get upset if you screw up somewhere. If you went left instead of went right, and now you guys are late to the event. If she told you to buy Kenmore and you bought a Whirlpool washer and the Kenmore broke down and you should have got the Whirlpool, allow her to throw it up in your face every chance she gets. Do not get mad at it. In fact, laugh at it and embrace it. every time you wash the clothes, say, you know what, I'm washing clothes in this fucked up washer that I shouldn't have bought. I should have listened to you. Throw it up in your own face. It's almost like that scene in 8 Mile with Eminem when he talked about himself on stage to the point where Papa Duck couldn't say nothing to him because he already dissed himself. When you guys accept responsibility on yourself more than somebody else, when you are your biggest critic, it's very difficult for anybody else to talk shit about you. But when you want to hide it and put it up under the rug and sweep it under and have people forget about it and move on, and I hope you don't bother me about this anymore, it makes it harder and harder for that person that, one, tell you about something that you fucked up on the next time, and two, it kind of molds you into being that you think you right kind of guy. I say that men shouldn't trip when somebody throws things up in their face over and over and over again. You fucked up, deal with it and accept it for as long as it goes, years if necessary, and throw it up in your own face. And what that does, it'll allow you to become a better you for the next decision that you make. You won't move so hastily, you won't move so fast, and you'll make smarter decisions so you won't screw up like you did last time.
Yeah, not to mention that you gain respect when you do that. That's a great point, Shannon. That's dope.
I totally disagree with that. I don't need to be reminded of the mistakes I made. I remember every goddamn mistake I made.
Hello, motherfucker.
Why do I need this heifer to remind me of everything I did wrong? I don't need that. I beat myself up. I don't need you to beat me up too. In fact, I need for you to console me and encourage me. It's not that bad. It's a small mistake. Why would I want you to remind me of my mistakes?
I'll tell you what, Hink, because most men don't learn from it. That's why.
Hold on, sir. Let him finish. Go ahead, Hank.
But then now you could possibly go tit for tat. Is that what we're doing? I thought we're not supposed to keep records of wrong, but that's exactly what you're doing when you reminded me of my mistakes. No, I'm good with that shit.
I just want to say this because I can understand both points what Hank and Sir Hale and Shannon is saying. I think it's always situational, as I always say. So when people are listening to this, everybody's situation is going to be slightly different. If you are in a situation where she is nagging, to Hink's point, I think there's a limit. She can be an asshole about it, and you might have to speak up on it. But then to Shannon and Sir Hale's point, I think that if she is, throwing it in your face, you just got to hold that L. But if she's doing it too much, I think then you got to turn to Hink and be like, okay, you want to say it 30 times today. You got one more time to say it and your ass is out. So I think that, when we listen to this information, we don't have to take everything like literally. I think it's all situational. I think we can take something from Hink and take something from Shannon, Sir Hale to the situation. And you got to be able, as a man, you have to be able to assess what you need to do in that moment, how you need to attack that situation within your household.
Dang, Jar. Say it again. You about of here with this one. Dang.
I mean, if somebody keep pressing it, then it's like, you got a problem?
Yeah, you got to get them work.
I heard you the last 29 times. Now we on 30. What's up? You okay today?
See, I agree with that. I agree with 100%. It's just, I know something. If she has to constantly making mistakes, then sometimes she's bringing it up because you just don't listen, dude. You don't listen at all. And that's her way of trying to get you to see, like, without calling you a complete jerk, she's trying to signal that you don't listen. So I think
you a fuck up.
Yeah. Exactly. Right.
You a fuck up.
Yeah. So if you listen and you learn from the mistakes, I don't think it'll be that bad, unless you just happen to be with a woman who's just a nagger.
She won't say it 30 times if you not a fuck up. That's the thing about it. So we're comparing apples and onions. It's almost like, I don't want to hear you say that all the time, but if you always a fuck up, you should hear it all the time, because that's exactly what I do.
I think that's
Hold on, Sven. I'm gonna get Luis in there because I see he want to say something and he been quiet. Go ahead, Luis.
I forgot. I had my point written down. It was to address Sir Hale from earlier about
So you need a woman to tell you where your mistakes is at.
Yeah.
So she can just pound you. You need to write down your shit, Lewis. Write down your shit. I've been telling you that every time. Write your questions down. You're always trying to remember them, but you don't fucking remember. And then you gotta say, "You right,
you right,
you right."
This Luis forgot what the hell he was gonna say.
I thought he was about to say
Luis
something.
like shit. I
I
don't even know.
We done went around the world in 160 days and yeah. I'm like, God damn.
Hey,
Been
but y'all
around the world and
point though, because if she steady saying it could be a possibility that you got a bigger issue and you don't realize it. So that's why I say everything is always situational. You got to look at it, and sometimes we don't realize when we fucking up that much. So, I mean, just take that. Everybody's giving some solid advice. I don't think nobody's wrong. I just think that take what you need from this conversation and see if you can apply it, because you got to test it. Sometimes you may have to see if you fucking up. So you may have to take one of the guys' approaches, and then sometimes you may not be fucking up. She could be nagging. And then you take a hink approach. So go ahead, Sweeney.
I was gonna say this. I think there's a difference between dealing with a royal fuck up, and counting the fuck ups. There's a difference. And I think of that song by Beyonce called Yes, right? The first time I said no, it's like I never said yes. So I think of it in the same way from a man's perspective. The first time I messed up, it's as if I've never done anything right. And that's what I mean by somebody who counts.
Sing it though, Sweeney. Sing it though.
Yeah, say the song again, because we couldn't.
I'm not familiar with that one, Sweeney. How it go? I don't know that one.
Man, look, man, I'm not doing that again. But yeah, that's how I look at it. It's a difference. If you're a royal fuck up and she every step of the way you just keep bumping your family into wall after wall after wall after wall, that's a difference. But if every single time, but if you for the most part you've been leading your family okay, but you made this mistake and then she hounds you for it, and then y'all go another 5-6 years without everything going smooth, then you make another mistake, and not only does she bring up this mistake, then she's talking about the mistake you made 5 years ago. And then she started reminding you every single time. You're like, "What? Damn, you like we doing just fine." But I get that this is a problem right here. But it's one thing to address an issue. It's another thing to hound a man and act as if he's never been a good man for you. You know what I mean? That's part of the reason why a lot of these women are leaving relationships. They leave in relationships for small, insignificant problems most of the time. And they act as if they out here saying, "Man, a man is relatively good, but you should be able to leave him anyway because you ain't happy."
I only fucked my coworker once.
You know what I mean? Like it's a that's how I look at it. Is that just like women don't want to feel like they're always just like women don't want to feel like they always telling you no. They're like, "Damn, I've been giving you ass all week, but this day in my head I got a headache. Now you want to sit here and get on my case about it?" You know what I mean? So, and I look at it the same way.
Yeah. So let me say this. Let me say this real quick. I think part of this has to deal with the type of women that some guys are choosing. I think it has to do with you're talking about character issues. You're talking about temperamental stuff. You're talking about things that usually you're vetting while you're dating this woman. You're vetting and seeing, how quickly can you piss her off? You're testing to see, what her, mental capacity is, how much BS can she take? Is she argumentative? Does she fight all the time? Like, these are things that you're pulling and testing and whatnot before you make her your woman, and I think some of that stuff depends on the type of woman you chose, based on how much she nags or how much hell she gives you and that type of stuff. I know for me personally, I have no problem owning any of my mistakes. I say that shit with my chest, just because I do all my research and I'm extremely calculated. So I'm not wrong very often. I'm not. But when I am, I'm dead wrong. And I take that shit and I own that shit and I let her know, "Babe, I fucked up. You was right. You this and that." And that's it. I keep it moving, keep it trucking. And usually the type of personality that meshes well with me is not going to hold over my head 24/7, 365, because I don't fuck up like that. And a lot of that has to do with the type of leadership some of the women choose. If they choose a brother that's not on his shit, they choose a brother that doesn't make great decisions, that doesn't have good decision-making skills, then maybe she might need to look elsewhere. But overall, if brothers is on their stuff, handling their business, and they're doing what's best for their family and their heart and their mind, and the majority of the time they're making the right decisions, there's no reason why she should be giving you hell all the time. And if she is, then sometimes that might not be the one for you. That might not be the one you hold on to.
Ricky.
And again, this is somebody that's not been married before. So I'm just gonna throw that out there too.
Yeah, I would have been smart after Ricky and he.
Okay, if a woman reminds me of my mistakes all the goddamn time, she's also gonna remind me of the biggest mistake I ever made by what I say I do.
Mm-hmm.
And to address what something B. Madden said about decision making, right? You picking a man that can't make decisions, you a bad decision maker yourself, dude. Right? Like we keep trying to get away from this thing that like don't attract like.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I said, I don't care what nobody say. You don't got a good woman because you ain't a good man. You fucking up or you lacking somewhere. A good woman don't have a good man because you slipping in some category somewhere.
Hello, motherfucker.
Somewhere. Nobody probably never tell you. You would probably never admit it to yourself. You would never have that look in the mirror with yourself. But I'm telling you slacking somewhere. Because good people not gonna sit around for your bullshit. They not. Good people expect a certain type of reciprocity in relationships. That's all.
Let's keep it a bang. Most people do regular ass shit. Like the average dude is pretty much out there virtually making the same decisions the average woman is. Y'all making adult people decisions. You go to work, you pay bills. You ain't out here doing too much shit extravagant. So why are we sitting over here like to sit here and pretend as if these people it's so hard for us to mesh well with one another? It's crazy to me because most of y'all are just normal ass people doing normal ass shit. So if you mean to tell me you can't get together with you can't find another man out there, or a man can't find another woman out there that knows how to pay bills and be an adult, we doomed to begin with. If you can't find that, we fucked.
Normal people with abnormal mindsets, bro.
Because it don't make any sense. We all grown, we all pay bills, we all live, we all die at some point.
Bro, I think it's real simple.
Not all adults are created equal, Sweeney.
I think it's really simple. I think it depends on the spirit of how she says something, right? If we've created the culture in our relationship, or I've created that culture to where, we can crack jokes. It's cool. We can crack jokes when I do some stupid shit. It happens. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the first one, to make a self-deprecating type of joke. Like, man, I tweaked on that, whatever. But if you trying to hit me upside the head with all my bad decisions or shortcomings, I can't rock. We can't do that. And that's the same with, even if you do something that, whether you cheated or whatever, if we say we're going to get past this, you're not going to hit me upside the head with this every time you get mad. You're not going to do that. So it really depends on the spirit of what she's saying and how she brings it up.
All right, we're going to finish off with Sir Hill, but before we do, does everybody know what the word tweak means? Yeah.
Depends on what kind of tweak you talking about. Are we talking tweaking, or are we talking about like tweak this a little bit?
We're talking about Chicago tweaking.
Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah. All right, so yeah.
I was just having this conversation. The word tweak has made me think about it, and I said it's a Chicago thing, man. I said I don't expect everybody outside of Chicago to really get what the word tweak means.
And somebody said it in the comments, man. They're absolutely right. You got a bunch of people out here that say they want a baddie, and you got a bunch of women out here that want a lifestyle that they never lived, that they can't never get a hold of, and that's why we at odds with each other right now, expecting extravagant shit in your normal ass life.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to Sir Hill, close out on this, get to the super chats, and get to the main topic. Go ahead, Sir Hill.
Well, this is a thought on this. Is a man been married? It'll be 16 years on the 21st of this month. Shout out. Something you learn is if your wife, so let's say your wife is not like that, and all of a sudden she is. I like what Ricky said moments ago. Something's going on, and it's important for us men to be aware of what's going on. Like sometimes we can engage into that fight, like we can engage into her anxiety, and you just make matters worse. Sometimes before you respond to her nagging, and like check and make sure she's good. You know what I mean? Check maybe something's going on, and her nagging is just really a way for her trying to get attention or have a conversation. So for all couples, if that happens, and this is not typical, this may not be a sign that you guys need to break up. It might be a sign you guys need to talk and get to the root of an issue.
All right, thank you, Sir Hale, for that. Great discussion, gentlemen. Let's go get to these super chats. Lakeisha Penny, 499 says, in respect to Ricky. Joy Harper, $5 says, Kings just wanted to say I moved 7 hours away, and King Talk made the drive seem more like 3. The drive was literally 2 King Talk episodes long. Thanks. So to you, sir. Glad we was able to make that ride transition smooth. BZ, formerly Baby Zaddy, $2. Also member says, name one successful man that is not controlling. I don't think nothing wrong with a little bit of control. I guess how you using that control. Joy Harper, $5 says, the men don't seem to want the one at the bus stop flagging down the bus. They are, never use this word. What is this? How you say this?
Enamored. Yeah.
Enamored.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Fascinated.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. I'm learning every day. I'm gonna write that one down. I might use it tomorrow. Now the women in the car trying to convince her to get to the bus. At least I'm honest about this shit, man. Shit, that's how you learn, right? Shout out to the lady right there, Kelly Connections, 1999, big bucks. Shout out to the Kings and to my darling at Lapeef JR. Have a wonderful show. Like, support, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that. Thank you. Now it's time to go ahead and get to the meat of the conversation. Before we do, if you guys just tuning in, welcome to King Talk. Also, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Shout out to the sponsor, Tej Hanley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men, 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. Want to become part of Green Gang? That link is pinned to the top of the chat. All right, let's go ahead and hop into it. What you guys been waiting for? Does modern marriage even benefit women anymore? Go ahead and play this clip. Here we go.
We think about how marriage used to be beneficial to women. It is what it is. We weren't able to vote. We weren't able to work outside the house. If we got divorced, we didn't keep the kids. Like stuff like that. Like women used marriage as survival because the man was going to take care of her. Nowadays, that's not the purpose of marriage anymore. So it's really like, what is the purpose of marriage for women when you have to have kids? So you're risking your body to have kids. The man wants you to go 50-50 on the bills. So you got to work and pay bills. And a lot of times women are the primary caregivers too. It's not like the dad is helping out so much with the kids on average. So it's really like, what is the benefit for women when it comes to marriage nowadays? And it's sad because men get benefited from it so much and women seem to not.
Play it one more time. Let me make sure y'all paying attention. Play one more time just for context. Sometimes you need to let them marinate a little bit. Here we go.
Because when we think about how marriage used to be beneficial to women, it is what it is. We weren't able to vote. We weren't able to work outside the house. If we got divorced, we didn't keep the kids. Like stuff like that. Like women used marriage as survival because the man was going to take care of her. Nowadays, that's not the purpose of marriage anymore. So it's really like, what is the purpose of marriage for women when you have to have kids? So you're risking your body to have kids. The man wants you to go 50-50 on the bills. So you got to work and pay bills. And a lot of times women are the primary caregivers too. It's not like the dad is helping out so much with the kids on average. So it's really like, what is the benefit for women when it comes to marriage nowadays? And it's sad because men get benefited from it so much and women seem to not.
All right, gentlemen, does modern marriage even benefit women anymore? I'm going to go ahead and start with Clout first, and then I'm going to go to Luis.
I think the young lady made some valid points, honestly. Just looking at the economics of how marriage worked in the past and the economics of how marriage works today, I would say that marriage is lacking in the benefits, not just for women, but for men as well, for both members. I mean, if you're not a traditional person and you don't have traditional ideals, then it's almost impossible to see a way that marriage fits or benefits your life. You know, so I kind of agree with her to some regard. You know, like what a modern woman, what's the incentive nowadays for her to get married when she could divorce you and take half your money, when she can get child support money, when she can get alimony, when she can sell her body on OnlyFans to make an income. You know, she can work a lot of the same jobs that men can work, and they can work the jobs that are of high status without the high risk. You know, there's so many opportunities that have intentionally been created to destroy marriage that it's like it was effective. It's been working. Like there's not really a lot of incentives that are going to make a woman who has a career and has financial opportunities and has dating options also. There's not really a lot of incentive for her to say, yeah, let me get married, let me have some kids. Like, and the same for men. It's just the incentives are gone, and I think that's where the issue lies.
All right, shout out to Clap. Shout says that he agrees with her, and I believe Shan agrees with her as well. But we are to be determined. We'll get to Shan in a little bit. Go ahead, Luis.
I find it interesting when we get to these conversations that people bring up young women who are within their 20s, under 30s, bring up the 1920s as if they lived over 100 years and have graced the planet for over 100 years and been through every single struggle that has been presented in that time period. I find that very disingenuous, but I would say one of the most important components of marriage would be community coverage and a long list of other things. But I will say this, marriage works just fine. People don't work. Let's wake that up. Marriage works just fine everywhere else around the world except in the West. Here in the West, marriage doesn't work. It works everywhere else. If you have a passport, travel. Go to South America, go to the Middle East, go to other parts of Eastern Europe. You know what I'm saying? Look at what communities look like. Sit down and see what their traditions are on the weekend, how they gather around one another, what they talk about, what their value systems are. Marriage works everywhere else except in the West because we have synonymally tied marriage so tightly to finances and moved away from the value systems that which created community and strong bonds. That's what I think has happened. And she's very concerned about, it only benefits men and it doesn't benefit women. Man, I don't believe that. I think that it doesn't benefit women because women are not getting what they are perceived to get out of a husband or a potential long-term mate. And I think men are losing because unfortunately there's a lot of things that are skewed in the way that the courts are set up and the way our society is heading right now. You know, masculinity is always constantly attacked. Masculinity is always under scrutiny, right? And we're heading towards hard times. And I want to see where all those feminists show up, especially when, our community takes a hit, right? Families prevail, communities always prevail, and people who have strong marriages, who are part of strong communities, build strong nations. And unfortunately, here in the West, we don't have a lot of that. But you see it everywhere else. The pride that takes place overseas is not the same way that you see here. How you?
All right. Go ahead and go ahead. Who was that?
Nah, I think go ahead.
No, go ahead. You want to respond to that super chat?
No. I wasn't trying to respond to the super chat.
Okay. All right. Let's have a double check. Go ahead, Hank.
Man, God damn, I don't like shit like this. I feel sorry for this little girl. But like Louis said, man, she's not even that old. Her grandmother didn't have to worry about this. Yeah, this. God damn. You know, the thing about this marriage thing, it's funny because, like Louis said, it works in a lot of other countries. I mean, I don't know what incentives you don't think they're getting, because you named off a few: child support and possibly alimony. And if you got a pension, they are
Get that
entitled.
in divorce, not during the
But
relationship.
you have to get married in order to get divorced, right? So they have incentives. They have incentives. Either on it coming in, they had incentives because they're going to get the access to protection and provision from the man, and on the way out, they're going to have the same not just the same benefits, but they're going to get some benefits on the on their exit package. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what other benefits she's really looking for. Maybe some more tax credits. I can agree with that. Give me some more tax credit, and maybe to have more extra incentives as far as everything else. But when you and your husband comes together, y'all money's gonna be together. Y'all income's gonna be together. Y'all everything's gonna come together. Y'all can work together. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be able to bring your kids up in a probably more successful home because their parents are together and not in two separate places. So
go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to respond real quick to what Hink was saying, and I remember what I wanted to say earlier, which was that, all right, like one thing Luis brought up earlier is he said, like things are gonna change like when the economy crashes, right? Now, to me, the fact that the economy has to crash for things to change shows that the economic incentive isn't there currently, because we need the economy to be in a worse off state in order for these women to then realize, hey, I actually need a man in my life. I'm just saying that the economy is currently in such a setup in a way where in order to survive, women don't have to be in a relationship. And I'm just saying it like this, like let's be realistic. None of us are women, but if we were women in modern society in America right now, I don't think any of us, if we were women, the first thing we would be trying to do is get married or get in a relationship. Now, I agree with Hink in the sense of that, like, okay, they get a benefit when they leave the relationship, but that doesn't add to more marriages. That adds to more divorces. So I'm talking about the incentives to stay in the relationship. When a woman is in a marriage, there are way more incentives for her to leave than there are to stay. She can gain more financially by leaving you. She can gain more status socially by leaving than staying. There are so many benefits that a woman can get by leaving a relationship that it's almost as if, well, like, again, if you were a woman, what reason would you have to stay in a marriage unless you're in a marriage that is economically providing for you, like, which is what a lot of women say now. They say, oh, I need to do to be paying the bills. I'm not going 50-50, because in their mind, the only thing that would incentivize them to want to be in a relationship like that is the economic benefit. So I'm just saying that we have to keep in mind that in past times where marriage worked a lot more, it wasn't like women were living lavish lives off of their or whatever the case was, but they still had an economic benefit. They didn't have to do the same type of work they have to do now. Like they couldn't just go to a grocery store or restaurant and get food. They had to cook. Like, it's an entirely different society we're talking about. The society we live in now is not centered around nuclear families. It's just not. So because the society is not centered around nuclear families, nuclear families have become less advantageous for the members of them. There's so many more incentives to just be single or to just date, like you economically and in multiple ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I'm looking at it. But I definitely agree with Hink where he said when they leave the relationship, they're going to get a benefit. Sure. If I divorce you and get alimony, I'm going to get an incentive. And if I get child support or something like that, I'm going to get incentive. But without child support or nothing like that, what's the point of staying?
Let me get to Ricky. Let me get to Ricky first, y'all. Let me get to Ricky.
Okay.
And then we'll go to Luis and then
This is some of the saddest shit I done heard in a long time. What is your value as a fucking man, dog? My value to my wife way outweighs financial incentives by tons. It's crazy how y'all can sit up here and speak of how important leadership is, but in this discussion, don't none of you niggas bring it up. Y'all talk about covering and all these relations, but when it comes to some woman choosing, it's all about some financial shit. The reason why shit is the way it is now because men allow women to value us. Again, what's the incentive? Paying shit by yourself or having somebody help pay you with it? What's the incentive on that? Right? Y'all allow women to
but
put a
most
price.
men aren't paying their bills. Let's be honest.
Y'all allow women to put a price tag on what you are as a man. When money don't make the man make the money. What is your value as a man? What is y'all talking about? A marriage. And let me tell y'all something about you niggas that ain't never been married, ain't talked about get married. It's like love. You never know what it is till you in it. So stop speaking about marriage if you ain't never been in it. Y'all need to really fucking stop. If you ain't been married, shut the fuck up. Talk about single shit. Because a lot of men and a lot of women, y'all walk around here, love ain't shit. I don't need love, until you get your motherfucking ass in it. Then it's a whole different thing, right? When that person come in the room and you look at them and just smile to be in their presence. When you can't imagine a day without this person. Broke, rich, don't matter. The benefits there's benefits for men and women in marriage. You have a man that you can count on. You have a man that's going to be there at 3 a.m, no matter what. You have somebody to take care of you. How many single women y'all done heard who had a goddamn accident or some type of operation and ain't got nobody to take care of them? Y'all want to allow women to buy their way into security. Oh, she can get her own money. What she need me for? That's you niggas. The only reason this stuff moves the way it does, the only way it's accepted in society is because men allowed it. You allowed a woman to dictate your value and not the other way around. Y'all really need to stop this shit. Y'all really need to stop this shit. Y'all supposed to be men. Broke or rich, you supposed to be a fucking man.
All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's not coming at you, Clout. Just want to be clear. I don't know how many panels you've been on with Ricky, but that's how he talk. He's really talking to everybody.
Yeah, that's how you do.
And also, he said,
I missed most of what he said because my signal just went out. But
yeah, I saw that face. I'm like, damn. Like,
yeah, I saw that too. I was like, oh shit, he feeling that.
Yeah, that Kobe Bryant response, but then flinch. I'm like, damn.
He was just saying when he was gone, bro. I wouldn't take that.
But so I wanted to add to this as well. So in America, we have the luxury of having big cars, big home, big accounts. I mean, the status, the prestige, the looks. We got the social media platform. We got the presence. We get all the knowledge, all the access to it, and we're still stupid.
Yeah,
because
we
marriage
is in clean water.
Yep, marriage is not about an incentive to you. First of all, ladies, if you want to be married, your job is to figure out how you can be of a benefit to your man. Somewhere we've got away from that to be politically correct. Your job as a woman is to come into a man's life and to make his stuff better. And as a result of what you offer, he makes your life better as well. That's the first thing. Money aside, if you look at research, there are some physiological, there are some psychological, there are some emotional benefits to when you're with a person who actually loves and cares about you. So I want to make this point clear. We're not talking about just getting married to somebody. We're talking about getting married to somebody who actually loves you, who wants to see you live, who wants to see you healthy. There are benefits to this. It helps you to overcome loneliness. Loneliness directly messes with your mind. Your mind directly affects your longevity. If you feel lonely and you feel alone, every decision you make is by yourself, that messes with your health. Having somebody who loves you, who makes sure you go see a doctor. If you fall, they're there to pick you up. If you feel alone, they're there with you. Most people don't know what it's like for a parent to die and your life to change. And you never sunk into depression before. Most people never went through a cancer scare to where you're walking your wife or your husband to the hospital as they get treatment for cancer. Most people don't know what it's like for your wife to have to go through postpartum depression, and her body changes and her mind changes and her confidence level changes. Everybody just talks about marriage, about the incentives, and they have no idea that marriage is not about the stuff that you acquire. It's about the person that you are with. So I want people to understand that marriage is not about the acquisition of things, because there's a lot of people who got stuff and ain't happy. Marriage is about you finding somebody who loves you so much that they don't want to wake up without you. And that if something were to happen to you, their world would be shaken because you mean that much to them. Now, you can have all the money in the world, but there is nothing like coming home to somebody who loves you and who can't live without you. And that is what marriage is about. Not to mention, let me go spiritual for a second. There was nothing like, especially me, having a woman who prays for you. When life gets hard, it gets difficult, you don't have all the answers, you don't have peace, you can't sleep, you're tossing and turning, and you've got somebody in your corner. She might not have the words for you, she might not understand you, but she can pray for you, she can rub your back, she can be that safe spot. Most people in this American culture are so self-absorbed. We're so selfish. We want so much stuff that you can't see the benefit of people until you're on your deathbed and you finally recognize that you having the bag and you being a high value man won't keep you alive or give you another day on this planet. We're too focused on stuff. Marriage is not about stuff, it's about people, and together y'all get stuff. There are benefits to marriage.
I just want to say one quick thing, because I know Cloud, I know he's not up here right now. He's having some signal issues, but one of the things that he brought up was that marriage is tight because of the economic situation right now and what has been going on is one of the prime reasons why relationships in marriage, you know what I'm saying, are affected. It takes an economics downward for people to understand they need to value each other and they need to understand each other. Let's put the entire economic system off to the side. Prior to any economic system, there were long winters, there were droughts, there were, a shortage of food, right? People needed to survive, and they needed each other to pull through, even through the toughest of times, right? Those long winters. And that in itself is its own economic system, because, you know what I'm saying, you can't eat what you don't kill. And unfortunately, we reverted into this more modern approach about, finances on a global scale. But how many people on their deathbed will sit with you? Somebody who's sitting in a nursing home would sit there and reflect back to you. I wish I made a little bit more money. I wish I would have got that car. They're not talking about that or thinking about that. They're thinking about, I wish I had more time to spend with my child. Or I wish I had more time to spend with my loved one. Or I wish I did this instead of making this selfish decision. There's a lot of regrets that tend to happen, and those things don't get highlighted enough. So I hear.
All right.
I just wanted to add something, because I definitely my signal was messed up, so I wanted to reply to what I was able to catch about what Ricky was saying earlier, because I did get him asked a lot about my value as a man and things like, and he mentioned what I was saying about economics. I feel like when I mention economics, people think I'm talking about money. And economics has nothing to do with money. Economics is the study of the things that motivate people. That's what economics is about. It has nothing to do with money. So if we're talking about a time where people were trading sheep versus a time where people are using cash, it doesn't matter. There's still an economy that's going on, whether cash is being used or not. All I'm essentially trying to say is that in modern times, it's not about my value as a man. It's about how the woman perceives my value as a man. So here's a perfect example of this, right? I could offer someone a pound of let's say a ton of lithium, and if they cannot perceive the value of lithium, they might not want to get that lithium from me, even if I'm offering it to them at a great price. They can't see the value of lithium. Just because I know the value of something doesn't mean the person I'm offering it to does. So what I'm trying to say is that because of the society we live in, the women do not see the incentive. I'm not talking about my value as a man. I'm not talking about any other man's value as a man. I'm talking about women's ability to perceive that value and to be able to see the benefit for themselves. Whether we want to accept it or not, there is an economics to relationships, because relationships are about the union of people. And the only reason people come together is for needs. That's the only reason. So there's always economics involving it. If the economics does not support people forming nuclear families, then nuclear families are not going to last. And we're living in a different economic system than the system in which nuclear families were first developed. So like we got to remember too, nuclear families were not always the only way. There was a point where polygamy was the way. So there was a point where men had multiple wives and there wasn't this nuclear family thing. The nuclear family became popular because of industrialism. That's the Industrial Revolution is the only reason we had a nuclear family. So you can't take the economics out of marriage, and you can't take the economics out of relationships, because that's what it is. The only reason people come together is formed entirely around economics. The only reason you live in the city you live in is entirely based off of economics. The only reason you're in the careers you're in are entirely based on economics. If you make apps and there was no internet, you wouldn't be able to have that as a job. The only reason you can have that as a job is because the economy supports it. So again, when I'm talking about economy, I'm not talking about money, and I'm not trying to say that men have to have money to be able to incentivize a woman to be with them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the modern women today don't see a reason to be with a lot of men, because the way they view them is as an economic resource. And guess what? If I can be more economically sound without you than with you, then I'm going to choose to be without you. Now, you also gave an example of saying that, you're getting bills paid. Some niggas don't pay bills. We're not living in a society where all the men are paying bills and doing that. Some dudes don't. And so a woman's going to say, well, why would I want to be 50-50 on bills with you when I could be by myself, spending my money how I want, doing what I want? So that's all I'm trying to say. The world today does not support women feeling more comfortable in relationships than single. If the economics change, then we're going to find that marriage becomes more viable, which is exactly why I brought up Luis's point. If the economy was to go bad tomorrow and all these internet jobs were to disappear, and let's say there was no electricity and they needed actual manpower, then you would see women flocking to the men. And why is that? Because the economy would change and our value would now be more apparent to them. In the Western world, it's not apparent. When you leave the West, it's apparent. So that's really the only difference from my perspective.
Based on the economic, what you just said, that's just not true. That if the economy goes down in one way, the women are going to find the dudes with the most billy goats. That logic is the same. It just the way that we barter is just different, right? So that based off of the system that you just expressed from an economic perspective, I get the logic, but that applies to anything. We have money now because it's just a much easier form of currency than it is then. I will sell you 3 donkeys for. It's just easier now, but the mindset that system is still the same, right? So
but that's not what I'm talking about, though, Sahel. I'm sorry, but I'm not talking about bartering. I'm talking about, like, for example, you needed a wife back in certain times when you had land because you literally needed the hands on deck to help you run your farm. You literally needed to have children. We're not living in that society no more.
No. So because all that falls under economics.
Sorry, finish and then go to Ricky and let's get to Sweeney.
I'm just saying the point that I'm making to Big Clout's point is we keep saying that it's how women see us. Women see us because we give them a reason to. There's so many different men who, as soon as they get some money, what's the first thing? I got money. Let me go find this particular woman. Let me go get this girl. So we're feeding into that. If men change this, it will change. Make no mistake. If we exercise dick discipline and we didn't use our finances as the medium to get the best women, it will change. So I'm saying hold women accountable for how they perceive us, but it's not all on the women. A lot of us being fed into it. If you don't believe me, just go look at the songs of the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. The more money a man gets, the more women he believes he has access to. We fed into it.
But we're not talking about men right now. We're not talking about men, what men use to get women. We're talking about if marriage is beneficial to them, meaning from their perspective, when they're from their perspective, when they are looking at marriage, do they see it as beneficial? That's the question we're asking. We're not asking about men. We're asking from their perspective. And I'm just saying that in modern times, I can see how a woman today might not see marriage as beneficial to her. I'm not saying marriage isn't beneficial. I'm saying I can understand why she might not see it that way, because then it's not incentivized for her in this world to see it that way. Now, if we're talking about in Japan or we're talking about Dubai, that's a whole nother different story. But we don't live in Dubai. We live in America.
All right, let me get Ricky in there, and then let me get to Sweeney.
So again, I understand your argument, but per usual, your premise is off, as most people's is, right? So you said economics is the joining of people, correct?
No, that's not what I said. I said economics is studying the motivations of people. Economics studies what makes people move and make decisions.
Right. Okay, thank you. So people, correct?
Yes.
Right. So who's in relationships?
People, yeah.
Okay, exactly. So again, the reason why, and again, I wasn't really throwing shots at you, I was throwing shots at everybody, right? But to clarify what I mean, and first you have to know where I stand as a man. As a man, my wife don't pay no bills because I understand the nature of women, right? So again, with that being said, the reason why women are able to perceive us this way is because we allow them to, right? Just what you, like you said, with your argument, we'll have these arguments and say, okay, it's okay for a woman to see a man like that. It's okay for her to say, okay, a man is only valued as this. It's okay because, and you know why? You know how I can prove it? Because men continue to entertain these same women. Right? We all control what we control in these things, but the problem is not the economics, right? Men are allowing women to control things that's supposed to be in their ballpark, and men and women are allowing men to dictate things that's supposed to be in their ballpark. For example, men want to say bodies don't count. I'll fuck a hoe. I'll wife a hoe. Right? That's not even in our wheelbarrow. Women are supposed to police each other on being whores. When we was younger, women checked each other. Ooh, girl, you out here, you nasty, right? But nowadays, women, if she a hoe, they gonna go hoe with her. Right?
But they don't do that now.
They don't do what?
They don't do that now. And it's like, you kind of proving my point, because like you just said that your wife doesn't pay no bills. So you're proving my point. Your wife, there's a benefit for her being with you in particular, because she doesn't have to pay no bills. If you took that not paying bills off the table, I don't think she would be as happy.
It was off the table because I was broke when my wife met me. My wife is rewarded for being me when I had nothing. See, like I said, y'all don't understand marriages because you never been in it.
That's false. I was married at 21 and my wife didn't pay no bills neither. So that's false. You don't know
where your wife at? Where your wife at?
I left though. She cheated and I left. But I'm just saying the whole point is that my wife didn't, the same circumstance. She didn't pay bills and I was married at 21. So I'm not here talking as someone who doesn't understand marriage at all. Like that's not true.
I ain't got nothing else to say.
All right, let me go ahead and get to Sweeney and Shan. But I mean, either one of y'all can go first, whichever one y'all want.
I think what he's saying, Cloud, is like, even if your wife didn't pay bills at 21, what you was doing at 21 that you was able to carry a household like that at that age? Shout out to you. The difference between you and him is that maybe your intrinsic value to your wife at age 21 was your wallet, but to Ricky's, it wasn't. So as a result of her getting with a dude that wasn't able to do that, and she stuck with him for everything except for the finances, she's now being able to reap those rewards 25 years later. It's kind of a difference there. But, you know, the thing is, I understand what you're coming from, Clout. And to everybody, That young girl in the video, man, she's speaking from the comforts of Big Daddy government.
That's a fact.
Fellas, fellas, listen.
Ooh, that part.
Fellas, we are competing against Uncle Sam. He is the new baby daddy. He is. But have y'all seen that movie, Dead Presidents? What was my man's name? God damn, when he went to war and then the pimp was
You
Cuddy.
talking about
Cuddy. Cuddy.
Oh, he was messing with Cuddy. Yeah, his girl.
Look at you bringing home the groceries. And when I used to bring home the groceries, made me feel good, made me feel like a man. Listen here, young blood.
Wonder who taught her all them
government
tricks
is
that she like?
Cuddy. If you haven't seen the movie Dead Presidents, go take a look at it. Everybody buy it, get it on Netflix, Hulu, whatever you stream on. Go watch Dead Presidents to understand some stuff. Cuddy is the new pimp. The government is the new Cuddy. And women are saved by all, not some, all of their bad decisions. If they can't work, they got a place to stay. If they have children, they got somebody to take care of them. They are comforted by all bad decisions. And that is what I think Clout is saying when he says that this girl is saying, well, damn, the fuck is the benefit to a dude? But I'm saying you're only saying that because you know you got Cuddy to fall back on. Here's the problem. This is where the brothers was saying she has no wisdom. See, I teach a thing about knowledge and wisdom. Everybody's knowledgeable. I just spoke about this on my Monday podcast. Everybody is knowledgeable, but it takes a little bit of time and service to get that wisdom. And wisdom protects your knowledge. I know you can read what the fuck you can find on Google. I know you can read it. I know you heard it from your friends. I know everything, ladies, especially the young ones. It's not until you skin up your knees and go through some shit till you realize you didn't know what the fuck you was talking about. And the government is relying on you to think you know everything, just so you could fall on your face. This is where Kevin was talking about. The reality is marriage is a win-win for women. Do you know why women have fucked up apartments? They shit is all fucked up, cables all over the place, the TV's half hanging off the wall. If it's on the wall, it's probably leaning on the floor. Furniture half built because ain't nobody around there to put the shit together the right way. Why do women drive cars with bald tires? The goddamn check engine light is on, it's smoking and shit. No oil. They ignore the overheating light. They thought it was just pretty lights. When women are married, they have a 24/7, 365 day a year, full-time on-service bodyguard. I don't even know women realize the value in that alone. You think because you got a gun and you can call 911, that's all the protection you need. The presence of a husband is a deterrent. Now, Clout, you mentioned the other thing. You were talking about economics and you were speaking about money, and I get it. But during the pandemic, women lost their shit. If it wasn't for friend zones, Clout, friend zones, uncles, brothers and dads, women would have fucking been in total despair. When we ran out of toilet paper, I was in Target and women was running around like the sky was falling. The men was cool, calm, and they was like, well, whatever, we just, we were gonna wipe our ass. We're gonna figure a way. Women they didn't know what the fuck was going on because they couldn't get no goddamn toilet paper. The economy does matter. And having a husband, ladies, you can't afford to be alone. You guys are getting evicted by the droves today. And we ain't even hit the damn worst of the economy right now. Did anybody have an old mom or old auntie right now? Don't she call everybody for something? How many of y'all got an old auntie that you wish that she had a man with her right now? Because she needs you to come get the goddamn, she needs you to get something off the top of the cabinet. She needs you to come take a look at this. And can you fix that? And something's always wrong. And there's no man around to do that. Then you got the other auntie who's married and you don't hear from her because she got her husband. This is the wisdom that this young lady in the video has no idea talking about because she's living on the comforts of her knowledge and with lack of wisdom. She thinks she knows everything because she hasn't gone through the shit yet. She hasn't experienced it yet. My father died last year, 79 years old. May he rest in peace. My mother was robbed last month at the grocery store. She's 77 years old. I live in LA. We got houses in the valley. She was in the valley. She was at the grocery store. I think it was called Gelson's or Albertsons. And somebody came and went while she was checking for fruit or something like that. She left her purse in the cart, in the basket. And little dude walked by, snatched the whole purse, hit the door. We got the video of him running out the door. I got an older sister, but who does she call? Who does my mother call for everything that she needs now that my father's gone? Me. And who sprung into action when she said her purse was robbed? And I track my mother's phone. Now that I track my mother almost like she's my wife. Almost like she's under my care right now. My mom, I send her money when she needs it. I take care of my mother and I track her phone. And who sprung into action and had to go and track that phone downtown Los Angeles and had to make some things happen last month? My sister couldn't have done that. And if my mother didn't have me, she wouldn't have had nothing. She locked out of her Mercedes, didn't know what to do. The cool, calm, and collected guy was me. If it wasn't me, it would have been a husband. There is a win-win situation for marriage. And if women can't see it, don't fuck with them, fellas. If she feels that she knows everything, but ain't been through nothing or doesn't understand it, like Ricky is saying, if you don't even understand the value of marriage, if you're not hearing what Sir Hale is saying, brothers, don't even bother with that because she's already been tainted. She's been fully indoctrinated. She is fully indoctrinated, and to get her to turn that shit around is a waste of time to even try. Now the question could be flipped on men, but we're not gonna talk about that. That's a whole different conversation. Does modern marriage even benefit women anymore? Hell yes. Yes, it benefits women. And by and large, most women know it does. That's all I got.
Let me get Sweeney in there. Go ahead, Sweeney.
Oh shit, where do I even begin? I'm so sick and tired of people talking about our grandparents like you lived a life, like you were there. You didn't live it. You don't know what they went through, why they did what they did, any of that. And you speaking as if you know. You don't know. And I'm gonna keep it real. The group that you're talking about, they were the high with the highest marriage group. They got the best results. The government was at its highest. There wasn't economic inequality as much as it is now. They were homeowners. They got the most out of their government. They got the most when it came to politics. Everything they did, they raised arguably the best group of kids. Look at our results today with a group of people who don't value marriage. Look at our results. You want to talk about how it doesn't benefit anybody? Look at the results. Our kids are the worst. They're not doing shit. Most economic inequality. People getting evicted left and right. Jobs going down the toilet. What are we talking about? On what planet do we live? In what place is two incomes worse than one?
What are you talking about?
This is what I said when, and this is why when I think when Big Cloud said, "Well, some men out there ain't paying bills." I don't care about what some man ain't doing. Most people pay bills. Most people are fucking adults out here. You can't find one. You can't find one to get with and make it down the road with each other. Two incomes is always better than one. Working it out, two parents is always better than one. No matter how you slice it. It's absolutely beneficial. Hell, they still give tax benefits for it. At bare minimum, What are we talking about? Is it beneficial for us when we get the worst results? And you want to know how I know we getting the worst results? Because all our women are in the comments complaining and all our men are on the panels complaining. That should tell you something right there. Obviously, we're not getting good results right now. Because if the women didn't want us, they wouldn't complain about us. And if we didn't want the women, we wouldn't complain about them. But somehow we can't figure out a way to make it work. Most of us are average ass fucking people, and you can't find another average person to make it through life with. Two average people to come together become above average. Because I guarantee you that extra income is a whole lot better than your single ass is doing. Then you come out here and then you make babies, and then you wonder why, okay, you keep saying how much you don't need the other person, but then your kids grow up fucked up. And now y'all both sitting there looking at each other trying to blame the other person for why the kid is fucked up. It's your fault. No, it's my fault. No, it's your fault. It's your fault. No, you did this. If you didn't do that, I wouldn't have did this. What are we talking about?
Talk about them kids. I forgot to touch that.
And we sitting here trying to figure out whether marriage is beneficial. This whole entire country was built on nuclear families. You don't make it without it. The very building block of community is the families first. And then you extrapolate to community. That's why we got the worst politics we ever had in multiple generations. The worst. Women lost a lot of their goddamn rights. Men losing a bunch of rights. We can't get it right in court. We arguing and fighting. And here's the tripped out part. You want to know where court comes into play at? Court comes into play when you can't stay together. Because the court has no bearing on your marriage. Can't nobody from Big Daddy government come in and tell you how to do your marriage. Court doesn't even come into play until y'all fuck up. But we sitting over here trying to figure out where we went wrong. And of course it's beneficial. It's beneficial for us all. But keep doing it the way y'all doing it then. You're going to find out how beneficial marriage is. Because we going down the toilet right around and you seeing it happen live in front of us. How fucked up shit is getting. And more and reason why most of that is going on because we got a bunch of hyper individuals thinking they can go it alone. Thinking that you can make it from one side of life to the other side of life by your damn self. And you think you don't need no damn body until you need somebody. And now you're asking everybody else to come in and help you and pick up the pieces when that was supposed to be your partner, who you were supposed to create some kids together that looked after y'all when y'all got old. Because you want to know what happens with individuals that don't need the other person? They raise kids as individuals that don't need the other person, don't care about nobody. So when your kids grow up and they feel like they shouldn't have to take care of your ass, remember, it was your mindset that created it. So I'm going to sit here and be happy in my marriage because I need my wife just as much as my wife needs me. So you want to keep going out there and going it alone? Do what you're going to do. Don't get mad at the results. Keep doing it and watch how we fail as a group because the whole country is failing at this point because we are the most individualistic group of people in all the generations before us. Everybody before us understood they needed one another. We're the only group of people that feel like we don't need one another. And I'm talking about America as a group. I ain't even talking about black or white. Us in America feel like we don't need nobody. And look where we're going. People don't want to fight in armies no more. Don't nobody want to join the military. Don't nobody want to work no more. Don't nobody want to raise their kids no more. You're pushing it off on other people. Then you look at the government and say, well, government, you need to come in and help me. The government looking back at you like, damn, if you had a husband, I wouldn't have to. And by government, I mean us as people.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, the government is happy as a motherfucker right now.
Because we the ones paying for it. You literally paying for it. We're paying for it. I wouldn't have to help you if you had somebody there with you.
See, but the truth is that if we're gonna speak about economics and the way the world works, right? Society dictates what industries do, right? And the industry's already setting up the younger generations for it. Virtual reality. They already got us on it with FaceTime and panels and stuff like that. They say it's more beneficial for companies, corporations, and businesses to have you set up as an individual. It's more profitable that way.
Hey, Ricky, you want to know what group of people I never heard complain about rent increases? People that were married in relationships.
I don't worry about no rent. I got a mortgage.
Same different, but you know what I mean. But that's my point, though. You never hear them complaining about rent increases. Guess who you always hear them complain online about? Damn, man, the rent keep going up. People who are single, because you're not meant to go it alone. You're not meant to. This country ain't built for you to do it by yourself. That's why your money don't add up.
You is not the meant. I don't care what nobody say. You're not meant to live this life alone. You're gonna leave it alone, but you ain't meant to live it.
Yeah, our society is not built and designed for 50 and 60-year-old bachelors and bachelorettes.
Nope. It's not built for it at all. It's not set up for it at all.
It's just not, and it's heading that way though.
That's why I was glad when y'all
literally heading in that way.
That's why I was glad when y'all brought up economics, because the reality is that in today's climate, economically, you definitely can't do it by yourself. There ain't a job. 90% of the jobs pay less than $26 an hour. 90%. That means most of y'all don't make the money to make it.
If that's the case, right? Why are 60% of marriages ending if they're so beneficial
Because
to the parties
people
involved?
think that they can go it alone. It's not about. They think they can do it alone.
But why would they think that, right? If all the evidence is proving that wrong, where would they get that idea from? Like, let's be realistic. 60% of the people who get married are not going to stay married. And we're going to make it seem like, it's just because of some flaw of character. Obviously, we have to accept to some degree, but we have to accept to some degree that a lot of those people that are getting married are leaving the marriage because they got married hoping to see a benefit, and while they're in the marriage, they figured, wait, that benefit isn't there, so I should end this. That would be like if I told you that 60% of the people who bought a particular car, right? If I told you 60% of those people returned that car before they paid up their lease, you would probably tell me that car is pretty shitty and doesn't come with a lot of benefits. Because any car that's benefiting the drivers who are buying it, why would they return the car if it's such a beneficial car? That just doesn't make logical sense.
No, just because
this car is treating me so good. This car is treating the drivers so well. Yet 60% of them are all right, but it's obviously an analogy. What I'm saying people are entering into a contract. Hold on, people are entering into a contract, and at a 60% rate, they're dissolving the contract. How does that make sense that the contract was beneficial if 60% of the people who enter the contract are dissolving it before the end of its term? That doesn't make sense. If 60% of the people who got a lease broke their lease before it was over, you would say that's a shitty apartment building. If 60% of people left anything, if 60% of people failed out of a school, you would say that school's probably shitty. But y'all are trying to convince everyone that something that has a 60% fail rate is beneficial to people on both sides. I don't understand how that makes any type of sense. I can understand a 40% fail rate, a 30%, but we have a more than half failure rate.
So Cloud,
and I'll follow up.
Yeah, so Cloud, it's a bad argument, right? So I'll give an example. So fast food is great for you, which is why most Americans consume it. Because it's good for you. If it wasn't good for you, then most Americans wouldn't consume fast food. That's the logic.
That's not my logic at all. That you're skewing my logic. That's not not my logic. Is if something has a 60%.
Hold on. Let me finish.
So I heard you, and I'm hearing what you're saying, and maybe you intend for it to come off a particular way, but the way that I see what you're saying is that logic. If 60% of marriages are in a divorce, then it must be bad. Marriage has never done anything wrong to you. Marriage itself hasn't done anything wrong. Maybe getting with the wrong person, or maybe like most people do, you didn't even give it enough time because you went into a marriage expecting to get a return before you even put the investment in there. You didn't give it enough time. You didn't give enough dedication.
These are all assumptions about people's characters that have nothing to do with the stats.
Let me finish, bro.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Right. So, and I'm saying this is a man who's been married 16 years. I got married at 19 years old, and I had 4 kids by 24. I know what I'm talking about. This is not theoretical. I come from the projects, all the stuff that you can talk about. No, most people in marriages early because they end up having financial issues because we place so much value on money. And we don't talk about the people who get divorced and regret it and wish that they would have done something different after their families are broken or the kids are growing up messed up, because if daddy and mama could have just got it together and stuck it out and got through that difficult time, they would have been a lot better off. Right. So you can't look at the number and say because the number is high, then marriage isn't good. No. Most people haven't been parented or cultured for marriage. Now, if you actually take that statistic and apply to different groups, well, suddenly the divorce rate is 60%. In different cultures, it's not that high. Some cultures, divorce rate is very low. It's when you have an aggregate score, that's when it looks big. So that's what I'm saying. There's a flaw in your argument. Just because the divorce is high doesn't mean there's something wrong with marriage itself.
Listen, the divorce rate is only low in places where where divorce is illegal. Anywhere where divorce, no fault divorce is legal, there's a high divorce rate. So that should show you that when people have the option to leave their marriages, they overwhelmingly choose to leave them, not to stay in them. Now, I get what you're saying, but all of those arguments require you to have, these are all nuance. You're talking about maybe this person didn't give it a chance and maybe they didn't work hard enough. And all of that is great. But the stats and the facts still remain that they were in it and they decided to leave. The stats still remain that 6 out of every 10 people or 60 out of every 100 that decide to get married also come to the decision later on that it's a bad idea. That's not even including the stats of the people who get divorced multiple times. So I understand what you're saying, that yes, some people may regret it, but the remarriage rate is not as high as the divorce rate. So if the regret, like you're talking about, was so overwhelming, then the remarriage rate of people getting back married to people they divorced would be extremely high. It's not. All I'm trying to explain to you is that anything else in life, any other metric in life that had a 60% failure rate, we would not call that a beneficial thing by any metric or any regards at all. So I feel as though right now we're romanticizing marriage because, you know, it's been part of society for so long and everybody sees that as the end all. That's the typical way that people live their life. And so that's all people know. And that's why people defend it so hard. But there has to come a point where we look at it honestly and say, yo, if I gave you a parachute and told you there's a 60% chance that this parachute will not deploy, would you jump out the plane? The chances are you're going to say no. Let's just be real. So let's not ignore the 60% failure rate. Let's not ignore that 80% of those 60% failing divorces are initiated by the same people that you're saying are benefiting. Why are 80% of them initiating divorces if they're so happy and so content and benefiting so greatly from these marriages? Obviously, they don't feel that they're benefiting from the marriages. So I feel like instead of trying to pretend that they are benefiting from these marriages just because we think so, how about we actually look at the incentives and look at society and find a way to make marriages actually more beneficial? Because this lie that they are beneficial at the current state that it is now, that's just wishful thinking. And Sahel, I understand that you're married and you believe that, but Sahel, there are people who have been married longer than you that got divorced. Like, just because your marriage has been successful thus far does not mean your marriage cannot end. So let's not just, I hate when married people come on and say, oh, well, I've been married for 20 years. And so that's somehow evidence that marriages don't fail. That's not evidence of anything. Y'all could, your marriage could end 2 years from now.
I gotta respond.
I'm not trying to come at your marriage personally. I'm just saying that marriages can end at any point. And just because yours has been successful thus far, that's not a fair metric to judge the success of marriages overall by. That's just you, and that's great. That's nice, but that's not that's not 60% of the people out there.
I got your point. So so I hear what you're saying, and you're rattling off knowledge. Like I can't disagree with what you're saying, but your position itself is incorrect. So just like you're saying,
what about my position is incorrect?
Yeah. So you say I listened to your whole thing, and then I came at the end. Just hear me out. So your whole contention is because the marriage the divorce rate is 60%, because of 60%, then, what other institution would you go in if it had a failure rate? Marriage doesn't fail. People do. That's okay. So the whole point of these conversations is to equip people to know how to do it. I'll tell you why a lot of marriages fail. Most people have not been conditioned or cultured to be in a successful marriage. As soon as stuff gets difficult, let's take it out to the beginning of the conversation. Let's say you get a baddie. Like she bad. If that woman has not got values early on to not esteem or say based off of her looks, and she starts looking for attention, you'll never have a wife because her currency is her beauty. That means her emotional development has likely stepped at the height or the apex of her attention. That means you're going to have to compete for her attention, even if you're married for her, because it's based off of looks. So the issue is not marriage. Marriage ain't hurt nobody. Marriage ain't robbing nobody. You ain't talk to marriage. It's the failure of people. And that's why when you're talking about this statistic and you're divorcing it from the people who are interacting in it, I think it's a disingenuous argument, right? And yes, I've been married for 16 years and I'm going to be married to that woman my entire life. If that's not the case, then I'll come back on here and I'll formally apologize. But when I married my wife, I didn't marry her with the intent on divorce. And to take it a step further, let me give you some real. There was a time when we were going to divorce. The papers were signed. But when you remember your vows and you remember that just because you're having a difficult time in your marriage doesn't mean that this is the end. And that this just means we got to dig a little bit deeper, love a little bit harder, try a little bit stronger. We can make it. I'm evidence that marriages go through difficulties, but if you work together, you can pull through it because that's what marriage is all about.
To respond to what you're saying, like, I get what you're saying about people not being properly cultured for marriage, but I think that argument actually proves my point even more, because I think the reason why people are not being cultured for marriage is because their parents, a lot of the parents who are raising these children who are becoming adults who haven't been cultured for marriage, their parents experienced failed marriages, and hold on. You pass down to your children. You pass down to your children. You pass down to your children strategies that you think are going to make them successful. For example, if you went to college and had successful college, you're probably going to teach your kids you need to go to college and get a good job in certain things. If you started a business and you had success with that, that'll probably be what you teach your children. If you had a marriage and your marriage didn't fail and your marriage failed and you lived in a culture where you saw your peers getting married and their marriage is failing, what are you going to teach your daughters? What are you going to teach your sons? You're not going to teach them to go out there and get married. You're going to teach exactly what a lot of women teach their daughters, which is work, don't depend on a man, don't do all of that. And the reason why the mothers are teaching their daughters this, and we have so much of this in feminist society right now, is because of the failures of marriages in the past. So it's like, I get what you're saying about marriages don't fail, people fail, but marriages are people. So yes, marriages fail because people fail. I don't understand how that is just semantics.
Hold on, y'all. I know a lot of people want to talk, so let's go ahead and go around and get final thoughts. Let's try to keep it like a minute and 20 seconds. Just go around for whoever wants to speak, respond, and then we'll just leave it at that. So we can go around. Hank, you got anything to say?
No, brothers, I appreciate this good conversation. I mean, it's definitely needed, especially for the audience to hear. You know, even though we're on two sides of the fence, but I'm glad we're having this. Thank you, guys.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Luis.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up something real quick. You know, Morgan Stanley did a study about where where relationships are headed, and so by the year 2030, it's like over 45% of women are going to be single, right? And these same companies who have taken the time and paid the money to do this research to figure out where relationships heading, and particularly focusing on women and what percentage of them are going to be single and lonely, right, on this independent bandwagon, they've already studied to figure out what are you consuming, what things should they buy and invest in, right? At this point, modern women are starting to be like the new commodity. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to cater to them to sell a product, to sell, things to, right? To keep them, pursuing, higher status and jobs and keep them in debt and keep spending. So, like, a lot of people need to wake up to the modern machine here in America, because it's really, really dividing us all. That's all I have.
All right. We got B Madden didn't go yet, so whenever he come back on, we're gonna get to B Madden because he didn't get a chance to respond. But let's go to Shan.
I wish Clout Jones was here, because I understand where he's coming from, and I understand the numbers that he's using. But I want to for everybody that uses the parachute example that has been used for so many times when it comes to marriage and failing. This is what Sir Hale is trying to get you guys to understand. The marriage doesn't fail. The marriage is not the parachute. The marriage itself is clout back. Oh, the marriage itself. When people say marriages fail, the airplane is sound. The engine works. It flies perfectly. We have shitty pilots and co-pilots. The marriage is the relationship between the pilot and the co-pilot. It is not the jet engines. Marriage is not the airplane. The airplane and the parachute and all these examples, if it failed this many times, would you take it? Yeah, it doesn't fail. It's safe as a motherfucker. The people that's trying to fly the airplane is ill-equipped. They're not pilots. They didn't go to pilot school. They took a course on eBay that they bought for $29.95, and now they think they can fly a jet. Their parents didn't know how to fly a jet. They don't know how to jump. They don't know how to pull a ripcord. They don't know how to pack a parachute. You have to be taught how to pack your parachute properly. I jumped out of helicopters in the Army. I am air assault. 10th Aviation Brigade, 10th Mountain Division, soldier. If you do not pack your rope properly, you will crash out of that helicopter. It is not the rope that fails. It's the soldiers that fail. So when people say marriage has failed, no, marriage is good. You failed. You didn't go to school. You didn't go to air assault school. You didn't go to airborne school. You didn't go to pilot school. You didn't learn how to ride a motorcycle properly. You didn't go to driving school. You didn't take the proper precautions to make sure that you're safe in operating this heavy machinery. And so when you crash, you know what you do? You blame the fucking airplane. You know what I was told as a kid? A bad mechanic blames his tools. A bad mechanic, man, this fucking wrench, nothing wrong with the wrench. A 9/16 wrench fits on a 9/16 bolt. You grabbed a 7/8. Why'd you grab the wrong wrench? Because you don't know no better. A bad mechanic blames his tools. Ladies and gentlemen, please, and I'm going to land here. When you say marriage fails, reword that, please. Say that you failed the marriage. That's all you got to reword it like. Stop saying marriages fail. Say people failed their marriages. It's a simple flip of the words. And when you say it like that and you think about it like that, you fucked up. This is where accountability comes in, because we want to blame every fucking thing else except for ourselves. And this is why I was talking earlier. Let me know when I fuck up, because all that's going to do is help me. If I don't want to hear it, I'm going to stop fucking up. Tell me every chance you get when I fuck up. So that way I'll stop fucking up and I'll give you no ammunition to shoot me with. Don't say marriages fail. Say you failed the marriage. And then you'll have a better understanding on what you're getting into.
Solid point. Go ahead, Ricky.
All right, I'm gonna go a little bit, so I apologize beforehand. The entire problems with people, the way people look at marriage and the way people handle marriages is they didn't do marriage right. Like he said, people pass lessons down, right? That marriage wasn't done right in the first place. Right? That the relationship between your parents 9 times out of 10 wasn't done right in the first place. Now, that's most cases, not all. You know, nobody's a monolith. But I want to address his point. He said the 60% of cars, right? And this is y'all problem. Y'all, we allow people to dictate to us what the marriage is supposed to be. Marriage is business. No, marriage is about 2 people, but you're supposed to be about your business. right? 60% of cars can fail, but you can blame it on the manufacturer. You can blame it on a car because that car has a certain set of rules, right? A certain way that car is put together. So, of course, if I looked at a company and they had a 60% failure rate on a product, since when did your marriage become a product? Since when did your partner be something to be manufactured and built and take stats on? The whole, and I don't care, clout, y'all can use the stats or whatever, right? The reason why people use stats, the reason why people look at marriage the way it is, because you just scared to admit that you chose wrong. You chose wrong. It's okay. Players fuck up. Players fuck up, bro. But that don't make the institute bad. That don't make a marriage worse. Right? What we should be addressing is the psychological factors behind people and the way they look at relationships. Right? Not the institution of marriage. But why are people broken? Why is that they can't recognize when someone loves them? Why they don't understand what love is within themselves and with another person? Right? The things that people continue to project into themselves and out into the world, what they see as value. You know, y'all know what niggas think value is. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, right? Lamborghinis, Mercedes Benzes, BMWs, the big house. Like I said, at the end of the day, as men, I do not allow you guys, society, or a woman or another person dictate what I am. And once we realize that as men, we'll get a lot further along as men. You define you. Not what the next man sees, not what the next person sees, because no one took your journey. Success is in the eye of beholder because none of y'all know where another man started. That's all I got, Jerry.
Look, man, I respect where you're coming from, but if you think that marriage in 2023 is not a product, then I don't know what world you're living in. None of y'all that are married got married without breaking your pockets. All of y'all spent bread to get married. All of y'all bought rings. All of y'all went down to pay the man to get your license. All of y'all paid caterers, paid DJs. Y'all paid the dude that made your suit. You paid the person that made your wife's dress. You paid and you broke bread. So if y'all want to sit here, and now pretend somehow
that wasn't the
argument. Just here. But this is my argument. My argument is y'all are sitting here saying marriage is not a product, and to me, that represents a delusion of what y'all want to believe marriage is versus what it actually is in the real world. Hate to break it to you, fellas, but in this world today, it's a product. Marriage is for sale. You can buy it, you can sell it, you can trade it. Now, maybe y'all don't want to.
So, what do you think we should do?
What do you think we should do? What I think we should do is accept and understand that in modern times, the institution of marriage does not meet the needs of our times currently, and create either a new institution or adjust the institution of marriage in order to better match the society we currently live in. But we're trying to take this antiquated institution that was designed for an entirely different economic system, and we're trying to apply this antiquated. We're basically trying to solve tomorrow's problems with yesterday's solutions. Marriage was yesterday's solution.
How long has marriage been around?
Listen, marriage in the sense of a nuclear family, the way that we see it, has only been around since the 1800s. Marriage in the sense of a nuclear monogamous family has not existed time immemorial throughout history. That's not true. That is something that changed when people started getting working in factories. That's when people started having nuclear families.
Before that.
What's this new system that you're suggesting? Because
I'm not saying I got. Hold on, I'm going to answer you. I'm not saying I have the answers.
His second one was a good one.
I'm not saying I have the answers for what the system exactly should be. But what I'm saying,
answer. Why are you taking it back? It was a good answer.
What are you talking about? What
you said you get. I didn't like the first one, but the second one was like it needs to modernize. We need to change the way the institution of marriage works for modern people. I agree with that. 100%,
Yeah, that's
the way it's
essentially what I'm
working right
saying.
now. It ain't working for motherfuckers.
That's all I'm saying. We're
So
solving
so
tomorrow's.
why did you bring up monogamy?
Why I brought up monogamy is because usually when we're talking about marriage, we're talking about modern monogamous marriage. We're not talking about polygamy, but polygamy is marriage too, right? So usually we're talking about modern monogamous marriage. I'm just saying that the modern idea that we have of marriage is antiquated based off the time. We got Chat GPT and AI now. We're not living in the times where marriage was the economic thing to do for the time because of the way society was set up. We're not living in that society anymore. So that solution is not the solution for our time. We need to come up with new solutions for our time.
You do know that very system has worked for the better part of all of history. Most people coming together, getting it done. And you're telling me that in today's time that system wouldn't work. And you're basing it, and you act like you can't see the results that we're getting. The group that did it, the group before us, and I'm not even talking about, because you got to skip past boomers, because boomers saw marriage totally different from what the silent generation saw it. The silent generation is who got it right, and they were married the highest. Now, look at the results. Wait. Look at the results that we're getting today in a group, and because marriage isn't the institution today. Everybody's trying to be single. Everybody wants to be single, and they're getting it wrong.
No, but Sweeney, we rode horses for 1,000 years too.
That's what I'm trying.
We've only been driving for 150. So
Yeah,
what he's saying is,
and marriage work.
What he's saying is the proliferation of technology and communication. We have evolved technologically faster than we've evolved as a species. Human beings aren't used to this much light. We normally are in the dark all night, and we've been like that for thousands of years. We didn't talk to motherfuckers through a YouTube channel who lives across the country. This is all new to us, and the way we communicate is new to us. Hell, it's changing every 20 years. When I was in college, we talked to each other. Now I go step a foot on at Cal State Long Beach, and the kids between classes are looking down, and somehow they don't run into each other. I don't know how they do it. It's almost like they got eyes on top of their head because they in their phones, but they walking straight and not hitting each other. It's weird to see. And so what Cloud is saying is, I know it worked for 1,000 years, but that was an agrarian era where all we were farmers and fucking hunters and killed each other with swords. Now that we're all a civilized situation, this is a civilized world that has civilized itself since the wild west, and we don't kill each other, we don't walk around with guns, we don't go into saloons and shit, we're not shooting each other over card games. We are civilized now. In the current situation that is new right now, Sweeney, with women with iPhones and social media and telephones and the way we can argue and we can sue people and go to court and get money out of motherfuckers without ever having to work for it. Does it work now?
I will say this. I understand that we do need to modernize how we see one another. Here's the thing that I'm saying. While the technology changed, people didn't. The technology changed, but the results are still the same. You still need people. You still need people.
People did.
You can't go it alone. No matter how you no matter what position in society that you're in, no matter how far you go back, nobody has ever been able to do it alone. Even today, still can't do it. Hold on, Cloud. Even today, it's being proven you cannot do it alone. You still can't. You can't make it in life. And I'm talking about the important things. I'm not talking about whether you can go online and do a chat bot and be able to get your rocks off. And I'm talking about, can you make it from point A to point B by yourself? And the answer is no. Especially now when people are becoming more and more individualistic, they're getting broker. They're losing more money. They're not working as much. Their kids are growing up fucked up. They're growing up fucked up. They can't do it alone.
See, the argument, Sweeney, is, but do I need you? I get what you're saying. We don't need, we can't do it alone. I said it earlier, we're a colonial people. We need each other, but do I need you?
And the answer to that question,
can I make it without you? Can I make it with my neighbor, with knowing with all the people that I have 10,000 people in my phone that I can call. I know some homies that can do. Can I get to where I want to go without you today?
Exactly.
Is the question.
And you know what? And it's interesting that you said that, and the results prove that no, you can't. Because 10,000 people ain't there when you need them most. They never there.
But
somehow, some way, hold on, wait, Clout. Somehow, some way, you can sit here and look. You can talk about your phone all day till you blue in the face until shit hits the fan. Then next thing you know, you can't go to them 10,000 people. Y'all remember that video of that girl who said that she that when her car broke down and her battery died, and she called all the men that she thought she knew that she wasn't even in relationships with. She thought she could call all those men and found out none of them was there when she needed it most. You want to know who would have been there though? Her husband.
Or AAA.
Yes.
Or AAA or roadside of service, that roadside assistance. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Y'all keep living in this world. Y'all are living in this world where a woman needs to call a man to help her get her car, bro. There's roadside assistance in AAA.
She couldn't afford AAA, dog.
Couldn't afford AAA. That's the reason why
AAA is $80 for the year. What are we talking about,
bro? If she could afford it, she would have had it.
They don't got AAA clout. Clout. They don't got AAA clout. That's the point. That's the point that I was making during my monologue, is that even though it's logical to you, Clout. See, this argument isn't do men need to get married? We can. I think the question that was on the panel is, this woman is saying, do women need men? Do women need a husband? The reality is, I know just get AAA. To get the premiere is $119 a month. My shit says 30 years. I've been with AAA. I just call roadside assistance if you get a flat tire. But then what? It's so much more than just fixing a flat tire and calling somebody. Now what you gonna do? For women, everything is gonna cost them. You gotta pay a plumber. You gotta pay an electrician. You gotta pay a tow truck. You gotta pay the mechanic. And you gotta hope you're not getting screwed over and getting charged $300 for something that should only cost $35 fixed. For a little sensor because your light popped on, you just got robbed for $300. They can't afford it. But if you had a husband there to cover you, Clout, if these women would realize that they think they know, because I could just call roadside assistance, and when I bought my car, they said that I could just pay $30 extra a month on my car note, and I got. If you had a husband, he say, "Don't worry about that. I'm your roadside assistant."
Shannon, you're right. You're right. Right. But let's be honest though. Like, women today, like this isn't like back in the day. Like, women are making over 100 bands. I know lots of women who make, like, most of the women I know are making more than 80 grand a year. So if we're talking about it costing money to hire people, most of the women I know have the bag to be able to pay for it. You know what I'm saying?
No, they don't.
I'm saying the women I know. I can't. I'm not speaking on all women. I'm saying most of the women that I know at the age I'm at.
Let's look.
I'm 30. Hold on. I'm 36 years old. I'm just saying I'm 36 years old. Most of the women I know are above 30 years old. Right? The women above 30 years old that I know, the ones I know, have the money to pay for AAA and to pay for a plumber and pay for an electrician. So in those women's minds, they don't see the reason to need a man, because they feel I can pay for and outsource anything I would need a man for. Not just that, but they got men sending them money. You get what I'm saying? Like, they got men sending them money just to DM and talk to them. So let's not forget that as well.
Here's the problem with that, Clout.
Hold on. Sir Hill wanted to ask Clout a question real quick, and then we'll go to Sweeney. Go ahead, Sir Hill.
I think this is getting more insane as we go. So to Shannon and Clout, I got a question for you both. You guys are advocating for, some newness to how we do marriage. One simple question, and then I'm going to follow it up.
Law, legally. I'm on the legal side, but go ahead.
Okay, Shannon, thank you for clarifying. So, Clout, are you on the same wavelength?
I'm leaning more to the legal side. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I was about to roast you. So we're cool, JR.
All right, leave the Bible as it is. Just the fucking Uncle Sam.
I'm going to clarify.
Cuddy in here sliding $100 to my wife. It's like, yo, Uncle Sam, what the fuck you doing? You fucking up my vibe.
Okay, I've always been talking about economic incentives, and that includes government. I'm not talking about the religious ramifications of it, because on a spiritual level, I absolutely believe in and agree with marriage. So I'm not against marriage. I'm just at a point where
do you want to be married again? That was my question.
I'm willing to get married again, absolutely. Like, I'm looking to get married again at some point, but It's just that currently
Whoa, no,
where I'm at
no.
right now.
Why
Hold on,
would
just hear
you
me out.
go
Just hear
into
me.
an institution with a 60% failure
I'm gonna.
rate?
I'm
Why
about to
would you
explain. I'm
want to
literally.
do
I was
this
literally just.
if you
I
knew that
literally was about to say,
60%
but
of the time,
currently, I
6
don't
out
see
of
the
10
benefit.
marriages.
I was literally just gonna say, currently, I don't see the benefit. However, the one place where I see the absolute benefit for marriage is for children, which is why when I have kids, I absolutely want to be married for the benefit of them. Not
Now,
for the
because
benefit of me, for the
let me
benefit of my
let me say this
children.
to you, bro. Let me say this
You
to
know
you,
what I'm
bro,
saying?
and then I'm gonna be done. Marriage, we love to say it's for the kids, but let me tell you what's a disservice to the kids. And this is something that I used to think, stay married for. If you stay married for the kids and they see you not happy, you still screw them up. Marriage has to do good to you as well, right? And we gotta own that. When you get married, it should do you good, because when your kids see their dad happy and fulfilled and happy with the woman he loved at an old age, it does something to them, even without you communicating to that. So let's just stop saying we want marriage for the kids, because they're going to get grown and be at your house one day. And you're going to still be left with that other person. Marriage is for us. We are the family, and we bring kids into that institution.
Yeah, people. When you get older, the kids are grown and they're gone. You know who gets crushed? When the divorce is crushing, even for older people, more so than the kids, because the older people see, yeah, the kids is 18, they gone to college and whatnot, and all that's all good, and that 18, but now we got another 40, 50 years to live together. Who wants to rely on their kids as a retirement fund? It's almost like, damn, I need my woman. I need I need my man to be here so we can go to the casino and pull on them slot machines so she can give me my insulin shot so we can fucking party and have fun and travel and do all these other fuck all day, walk around the house naked, do all the things. It's not so much about the kids, Clout. But I do hear you. But I don't, but I do.
Here's the problem. Here's
I
the
don't
problem.
care.
Here's the problem. Because I'm glad he brought up the fact that the women that he know makes over 100 bands a year. Fair. That's fair, right? Because Kevin Samuels always said, do you have the money to make it to the end of your life? He asked that question every single time. Do you have the money to make it to the end of your life and retire at 65? Majority of them, even the ones that said they make the money, do not have it. But I will grant them that they do. I will grant that they do. I would grant that argument. You want to know the tripped out part is 80 to 90% of this country don't have the money to retire, don't make over 100 bands, ain't even close to it. That's 90% of the country. So while for 10% of the country, marriage may not be a need or a necessity, the other 90%, it is absolutely a necessity. Because that woman that was in that video complaining about the men that couldn't come because her car broke down, she didn't have AAA. I wonder why. Because she probably looked at that $80 a month bill and was like, shit, I gotta sacrifice something. I can't keep paying AAA. Because everything like Shannon said, everything that her husband would normally do for her, she has to pay another man to do. Just like if a man could cut his hair by himself any day of the week. He could put clippers to his head any day of the week and cut his own hair. But you got to pay me $50 to do it.
But y'all realize that women can have a man without being married, right? Y'all do get that, right?
That's not most women.
Why though?
Most women, a lot of women have boyfriends, men in their lives that fulfill that purpose, and they're not married.
Why though?
And I'm against the friend zone. I'm teaching men to get
No, I'm just talking about dating. Meaning I'm just saying.
No man of substance is going for that. No man of substance.
No man of substance is dating women. What are y'all talking about?
No, it's going to be a long-term boyfriend. No man of substance. It's a waste of his resources.
Once y'all realize these things happen because men allow it, we'll be in a lot better place, bro.
I'll take you.
Hold on. I'm not finished. Right. But I got a bone to pick. Right. So which is it? Is it that when men are leaders, women naturally flock to them? Is it that when a man is leader, he can mold a woman into the wife or the woman he needs her to be? Ain't this the arguments we have all the time, JR, Sir Hale, Shannon Ross? So again, the problem really is people don't play their positions. People don't recognize their roles. You allow people to define you and where you should be. Instead of defining yourself, And the people that do try to do that to you, what you do is you try to appease them because she got a fat ass. Because she the hottest girl in the room and every man turn when she walk in.
Did you hear what I said?
Right? Instead of finding somebody for you. For you. Millions of people and can't nobody find one of them. We have and I'm just gonna be honest. Ali, you my guy, you know it. You my man, 50 grand. An attractive, handsome young man. Smart, articulate. What's the problem with finding one? What's the issue, gentlemen? Y'all got the bag, y'all smart, y'all ain't like your fathers or your forefathers who was running out. Papa was a rolling stone. You ain't doing it, but you can't find one good woman. One. And like I said the other day, you can't say all of them bad because then we got to start looking at men too. All y'all ain't shit either. Y'all better figure it the fuck out and stop pointing fingers and fix yourself.
And to add to that, because bro, you are hitting. And to add to that, if women were getting men the way that they say that they were, then why are they complaining? Why?
I'll say for Ricky. They're liars, bro. They're liars.
All y'all keep doing is lying. Every time y'all open y'all mouth, it's a goddamn lie. Every time. And you can lie to me. You can lie to me all day. Keep lying to yourself. Keep lying. 50 gonna roll up on your naked ass quicker than you know. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you. Ladies, y'all keep lying yourself. 50 gonna roll up on your ass before you know. Your shit ain't gonna be working right. And I got a question, JR. Can you answer this for me? How many times have we had, and this is just something I'm interested in because I give both people shots if y'all don't know. Why is it that women say pussy never go bad, right? They say that, right? Don't know pussy ever go bad? Then why the need for rejuvenation surgeries?
Oh, man.
No? Nobody? Stop fucking lying, dog. Stop acting like you don't need nobody, bro. Stop acting like you don't want somebody to love you and rub your head at night, nigga.
Stop lying.
Y'all think niggas got to be married to get love?
Bro,
Y'all feel like men got to be married to get love? I don't know what type of lives y'all are living, bro. I haven't been married. Hold on. I have not been married for the past. I got divorced in 2007, and I had no problem finding love. So again, y'all living in this world where the only way people get access to love, connection, and all of these things is through marriage. Y'all are living in the past. That's not the world we're living in. People have no problem finding love without putting a ring on their finger and signing a contract for marriage.
So let me ask you a question.
A woman could find a man to pipe her down, to rub her shoulders, to love on her, do all of them things without them being married. Like y'all are pretending we don't live in the real world. What are y'all even talking about?
Then if that's the case, then why is everybody complaining? If that's the case, why is everybody complaining? This panel shouldn't even exist right now. If everything you're saying is true, then why are we complaining? Why are the men that are single complaining? And why are the women that are single complaining? Why are they both complaining? Because they should, according to you, everybody's doing just fine. Everybody's happy.
I can't speak for anybody who's complaining because I'm not. Like, I don't have no issues in that regard. So I can't speak for nobody that's
asked. That's the reason why the question is even being asked.
It's not you.
If you really want to look at most of the people who are complaining, it's divorcees that are complaining. It's the people who believe that marriage is actually going to be beneficial to them and can't seem to make it work. Those are the people who are complaining. But the people who are single and dating and happy, they're not complaining. I'm not on here complaining about nothing.
Dating y'all sad. Just
the marriage rate in our community is 36.
It's like y'all married dudes swear us single dudes is upset somehow, and like we sleeping in our bed crying at night. We literally don't care. Y'all the ones trying to get everybody to get married. We literally don't care. We good.
Why does everybody be like, y'all married men act like everybody else? Why y'all throw all married people in a bucket like we all?
I'm not trying to throw y'all in a bucket, but a lot of time the married people on the show
and
like to act as though. No, but what I'm saying is they like to act as though the people who aren't married are somehow unfulfilled in life. Like they can't find fulfillment without finding this legal partner. And what I'm trying to
They've
explain to
studied
you,
this. It's not the Cloud. I know you're good. I know you got hoes waiting for you to get off this show. I get it, Cloud.
You can't expect me to take you seriously.
But Cloud, there's studies after studies after studies from Tinder and Bumble and the rest of and Instagram that says exactly the opposite of what you're saying. Men aren't having sex. Cloud, you know this stuff. Stop it. I get that in your circle, in wherever, I don't know what city you're from, whatever city you're in, you are good. I know you are. But by and large, men 35 and younger who are single are like, what the fuck is going on right now? By and large, women that thought like you're speaking now was thinking that way. It started with my generation. It started in the 90s. And now those same women are saying, oh my God, what the fuck was I thinking? But they're not helping the younger women to do any better. Instead, they're recruiting them into their Golden Girls clubs. That's my argument. But the women that's my age, 50, graduated in the 80s and the 90s, early 90s with me, they all, the ones that didn't make it through and they're single right now and trying to doll themselves up and die and getting BBLs, is like, what the fuck is going on? I know you think that everybody is good, because that's the people that you hang out with, Clout. But the reality is these shows, the Kevin Samuels of the world, Fresh and Fit is number one. Fresh and Fit is number one. Fresh and Fit is number one on YouTube podcasts for super chats by times 5 from the next person behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships is an issue right now, Clout, and it's not as rosy and good as it seems to you for everybody else. Because to Sweeney's point, what would we even be talking about this for if it was all Gucci? And it's not.
Yeah.
And the thing is, hold on real quick, Luis. I want to add this one thing, and I'm pretty much done.
We always say that, man.
And the thing is that the single rate in this country, especially amongst the black community, is 66%. Only 30-some+% of us are married. 36% at maximum. That's for men. Women are married at a 32% rate. So you put that together, we at 34. So that means 66% of our community is single as all get out. And you telling me that majority of the people that's on these panels and in these chats and everything that's complaining are married people?
It's not by choice.
That's not what I was trying to say now. But I get your point.
Yeah. All right.
So that's pretty much. Go ahead, Luis.
Yeah, let me let Luis take us home on this. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. A lot of those men that Shannon just finished explaining, those are all just internet boyfriends. The guys who are online scrolling the IG page, the guys who are subscribing to the OnlyFans account, the guys who are sitting in a corner somewhere with the dim lights, right? Those are internet boyfriends. The ones who cash out women money and get no attention that they've never seen, internet boyfriends. They just only exist. They're meta boyfriends. They only exist in the metaverse. And now that Apple has released this new goggle, you definitely gonna see him. If you think that restaurant and date night is bad, wait until that releases. These motherfuckers is definitely not coming out. They're gonna be glued to that TV. The way that we interact and come together is changing. You know what I'm saying? It's just changing psychologically. I can count on you, Shannon, to pull it out. Pause.
Oh yeah, you got a pause on that one.
Let them know, Luis, it's changing for the worse. It ain't getting better. It ain't like it's changing, getting better.
Screen on the front of that, Shan. I don't see the screen with that puts the camera on your eyeballs and I don't. Okay. Let me get to these super chats real quick. Sharon Thomas, $5 says, JR, how much to keep Cloud off the panel for a couple weeks? Just for that foolishness he just spouted. Take K, $10 says, marriage does not benefit those who don't qualify to be a husband or wife. Everyone don't qualify. The elites don't hang with the poor. The married don't hang with those who don't qualify for marriage. Take K again with the $1. Take K, $5 says, African Americans way behind if we still trying to understand marriage while Elon dancing on the moon. Jesus Christ. BZ, $2 also member says, says, let me put it on this ban clout movement. Man, clout day. I love the day.
Not feeling me today, huh?
Yeah. Joy Harper, $10 says, grandma said things like, child, he's paying all the bills, so hush and let that man be a man. They were referring to his side chick. Men, hear this, we are no longer motivated to sign up for pain. John the Baptist, $5 says, the only way to make people value marriage is to take away people's choices. If you give people a choice, people have proven over time we make bad choices.
Facts.
Simple as that.
Connections one name says Ricky is back.
Should we go back to a form of like arranged marriages?
We ain't even got to do that. We ain't even got to go that far back. Take some of these options away of when it comes to like, because we make shitty choices. That's part of the reason why it's all failing. We make shitty choices. We make shitty choices with the people we decide to marry.
Make
then we make shitty choices. That's the reason why we leave marriages.
Made in absent of community, absent of father, mother, aunt, uncle, grandparents. Those are absent of community. Everybody else who involves those people tend to have a much higher success than those that don't.
All right, Ricky Williams, $5 says, whatever you believe something to be, that is what is will be and continue to be. And society agrees with you and how it is working for everyone. Ali, 1999, says, brothers, be real about modern marriage, not yours. It's today's marriage how men want it. Brothers gave up multiple women and families for women who quit monogamy, kids, and marriage for their feelings. Shannon and Clout on point. Like you guys have a tribe behind you. John the Baptist, $10 says, a proven method that is considered outdated is worse than a new technique that has not been created or even tested. It is hard to compare non-existence to what already exists.
Fair.
John the Baptist, $5 says, 8.4% of women in America make $100,000 a year. That's all women, and that's $65,000 to $70,000 after taxes. Ali again says 1999. Brother Ricky, if y'all say men should do what's good for them, why we mad at men for having women, kids, and established verse men who marry modern women who divorce for their feelings? Ali again says 1999. Single brothers support married men and wish them the best of luck when even if they divorce. But why do our brothers call brothers the issue for being realistic women? We have more sex than marriage because the quality of women.
That has literally been proven to be false.
John the Baptist $2 says, Black Baptist preacher, 5 minutes and I am done. And lastly, Ali 499 says, there's no such thing as single men ever. Relationships status shows a woman's value. And if she's worth marriage, men stay with women. I want to thank everybody that has super chatted and has donated, hit the like button, all that good stuff, and supported. Want to say something, Shan?
Yeah, Sweeney said that that's not true. You think the quality of women is up or down?
No. I was just talking about the part where you said that single men are having more sex than married couples. When they just put out a stat that said 1 in every 3 men are virgins or ain't had sex in the last year. These single men aren't having sex the way we think they are. It's just simply not
the
true.
women are. The women are having.
Put it back on the screen because I don't. Did he say that? Did he say that?
What? Ali?
Yeah. Talking about single men had what married men do today.
Let me see.
It was something about single brothers or something.
Single brothers support married men and wish them the best, even if they divorce. But why do our brothers call brothers the issue for being realistic women. We
That's
have
the one.
more sex. You said what?
Yeah, that one right there. You was about to read it.
Yeah. We have more sex than marriage because the quality of women. So he said, single brothers support married men and wish them the best of luck, even if they divorce. But why do our brothers call brothers the issue for being realistic women? We have more sex than marriage because the quality of women. What it says.
I think that's true. The average woman has had more sexual partners than husbands, right?
No, but he's speaking from a male perspective. Men aren't having sex. Sweeney's right. Men are not having sex like that, and certainly aren't having more sex than married people. But Ali is, because he's
Yeah, I'm not talking about Ali personally, but I'm talking about men in general. I don't know Ali's sex life.
Y'all out here putting bodies on.
I don't know his sex life, but I know what that data says, and I think it's probably more than the 1 in 3 because a lot of men like to lie on their stick. So,
okay,
yeah, I recall the study saying that it's like the top 40 men are.
Yeah, but the reason why is because of porn.
Bottom
Man. When you got porn at the palm of your hand and in high definition and 1,000 videos to choose from.
And
A lot of guys, the shit that they got to go through to get sex ain't worth it to a lot of guys. They're like, damn, I got to go through this and deal with all of this just to get that nut, and I can get that same, I can get a nut similar or close to it without dealing with any of the headache. Fuck that. I'd rather run X videos or Pornhub. So
yeah, don't do it.
And now they got this virtual reality
incentive.
Go crazy.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Joy said that no, she thinks that he's saying that they have more sescapades rather than get married. Now, if that's what you're saying, Ali, I don't know if I can't argue that. But if you're saying that single men have more sex than married men, that's cap. But if you're saying that men are just opting and just having sex rather than getting married, that may be true.
No, that ain't maybe true. That's true.
Right. You know what I mean? I can't argue that.
All right, Jim, I know others got to get off, man. This has been a great discussion. I didn't anticipate it going like it did, but I'm glad it did because just be who you are on the panels. Cloud, I appreciate you being transparent and standing on your ground with your perspective, man. Keep doing it. I think it's people out here that think like you, and clearly we've seen in the chat, and it's people that think like everybody. So whenever you come up on the panels, we want you to be you and stay on it. Support your argument. Let's make sure we support each other, man. I got another super chat. Ali came through again. My point was, whether a woman single, dating, in a relationship, or married, she's sharing a man. Okay, so that was his point.
Sharing them. Oh, she don't know she's sharing them, but she's sharing them.
Oh, okay.
Let's
can't argue that. I ain't got nothing to say.
Support everybody that's on the panel now.
Sweeney, because you got a couple side chicks. She's sharing you, Sweeney.
Apparently so.
Yeah. Let's make sure we follow our brother Hink, man. He's stepped off a little earlier. Let's make sure we follow Hink in the Basement on YouTube. Sir Hale is on the panel right now. Let's make sure we follow him. Has a YouTube channel. Luis is an awesome designer. Y'all make sure y'all go to his Instagram, check him out. Big corporations or companies, your CEOs, make sure y'all hiring him. Nice. We also have B Madden. He's a celebrity, man. He's a model. Has a lot of great things going on. So check him out on YouTube. You'll be able to find the information. Y'all make sure y'all follow Shannon Rawls. .com we see now, but Shannon Rawls also has the YouTube.
Website looks great, by the way.
He said your website is great, Shan.
No, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, Shan gave compliments. So I guess we see it working, Shan. People are clicking on it. Let's make sure we support Shan. Trigger Mike, I think he's going live. Yeah, he is going live tomorrow between 12 and 1 o'clock. So y'all make sure y'all support him. Also has a YouTube channel. Has a lot of great reels on Instagram, so y'all make sure y'all check him out. Sweeney is newer into the podcast. You can catch him here on the Lapeef Network, but also has his own thing going on as well. It's a fun environment. I had the opportunity to be on a panel this past Sunday. Great panel, great discussion. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. Humble Dad is on his cruise right now. He just got married, so salute to him for getting married. And you guys be safe out there and have fun. Let's make sure we support Ricky too. Ricky Williams boxing. There's a lot of great discussions. He goes live. He's one of those people that is in touch, that's in the field. So you're going to get some authentic perspective from Ricky. So I salute to him. I think I covered everybody. Y'all make sure y'all follow Big Clout. Clout is an artist as well. When I say artist, meaning that he sings and he raps. You can catch him here on the Lapeef Network as well. I appreciate your perspective, Clout. I see you growing, man. I see you standing on your ground. Appreciate it. Much love. All right, that's it, family. Great show. Y'all enjoyed it?
It was awesome.
It was good.
Dope,
Yeah.
show.
I mean, y'all stuck around. I mean, people.
I love this because it sharpens my
Please,
mind.
please bring up Ali because I have no idea what he's talking about right now. Go ahead, bring him up, man. Put the link in the chat, man. Bring up Ali.
You bring up Ali, you might bring up
all these guys are great minds, man.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right,
I know. So I got some time, man. I ain't got to work tomorrow. I got some time.
I appreciate you, sir. Yeah. I'm gonna bring up Ali. Ali, click the link if you want to, brother. Come up. I'll wait about 5 minutes. See if you come up. You can chop it up with Sweeney for a second. It was a great show, man.
Yeah, other than that, shoot, man, we were 3 hours and 45 minutes. God damn.
I didn't know we do more than that on Thursday.
You've been cutting it short lately.
I ain't been cutting it. This show starts later, so that's why it seems like it's late. But the Thursday show started a little bit earlier, so you may get 4 hours, at least 4 hours. This thing's long for a King Talk, but the crowd was rocking out with us. It was a good discussion, man. I didn't think it would go that way. Got Billy says great show. Salute to you. Somebody been disrespectful in the chat. I'm not sure if he's gonna come up though, Sweeney.
He probably not.
Sweeney family, that's not true. It's not the.
Yeah, I'm lost. I have no idea what he's.
Okay.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Ali. He said, "Don't do it." Shout out to my grand gainers in the chat, Miss Parker. Take K, I see you. Leaked. Let me see what else we got. Our color evolved. What else we got in the chat? That's about it that I see that's recent. So to you guys, hit that link at the top of the chat right there. You want to become green. Other than that, we out, man. Sweeney. Man, Sweeney, your reel going viral, man.
What reel? The one about the
I think I saw one of his reels too. I ain't gonna lie. I think I saw one earlier today.
Man, look, I know Ali said I'm out here, man. I'm just speaking from the heart at this point, bro. I can tell y'all, I can be honest with y'all. It hurts me to see what I'm saying out there right now. It hurts. Like, I'm good in my marriage, but it hurts to see y'all going through the things y'all going through. Like, I hear my clients. I hear, like, I work side by side with my wife. So even though I got the men coming to sit in my chair, I hear the women. So it hurts seeing y'all both go at each other's necks like this, and there's nothing coming of it. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I want to see y'all work. I want to see it work. But that's all I pretty much got to say to it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Tell you, I've had my fun. That mean that they're no longer gonna have fun with you.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna get the chick that all these other dudes was able to get, where you was gobbling and giving out that Gawk 3000, and you were spinning around and all while keeping it inside and all of this, and they was getting the we can go outside and we can do it anywhere type chick. I'm gonna get the boring missionary in the bedroom, and you're not gonna do all the things that you did when you had your fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that.
You
woman.
ready to be born? Yeah. Now
you're gonna be born with me.
Fuck that. No.
But but everybody else got to have the fun but I get the boring you. Tell you, I've had my fun. That mean that they're no longer gonna have fun with you.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna get the chick that all these other dudes was able to get, where you was gobbling and giving out that Gawk 3000.
Let me get up out of here.
You were a lot of women where I'm glad when they say I'm tired of the club at this point, because there's nothing that looks worse than that old biddy still sitting at the club trying to act like she's still just as useful as everybody else. There's nothing worse than looking at that old dude who's still trying to do the same shit.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
And so, and I think that's the same thing with women. Like, I think there are, like, I see the silver lining of what he's saying, that there is a good thing when a woman says, "Hey, look,
You should have posted the part where I said JR always only JR can find the silver lining.
I'm ready to elevate to doing more grown up, more, you know what I mean, things that kind of settle in. I'm more willing to be at home. Mhm. Now I hate the one that say I done had my fun, but
Yeah, that
what
sound
she
bad.
means is I done been
Cock
around the
carousel.
block, I done rode the cock carousel for you. I'm just want to be the lady that lays on my back. But the one that say I'm tired
thrill
of the
is
club,
gone.
yeah, the thrill is gone.
And look. So when is the next one?
Man, I don't know. I was thinking about this coming up, but I may be out of town. We'll have to see. But yeah, like we'll talk, man. We'll talk offline.
All right.
Appreciate you guys' support, man. Thank you guys for watching King Talk. Ali again says Sweeney done turn to let go and Bruiser combine.
Ali, please message me because I think you misunderstanding what I'm saying. Just hit me up on IG. I think you misunderstanding my point. Just hit me up on IG.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all got going on. Going through some things. Appreciate you, hit that like button, family. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. If you're just tuning in, catch the replay. Shout out to all the truck drivers that's out there. Y'all make sure y'all be safe on the road. All the first responders out there, thank you guys for everything that you do. If you're just getting off on second shift, making it home, salute to you. And if you're just starting work on third shift, I know how it is you in your life. Y'all make sure y'all be safe at y'all workplace. Another bang one in the books. Go ahead and support the network. Appreciate you guys again. Love you. See y'all soon. Thank you guys again. Y'all make sure you hit that like button. Also make sure you subscribe to the channel on your way out. Y'all be safe out there. We love y'all. Shout out to all my Korean gang that's in the chat right now. Appreciate everybody's perspectives on the panel. Good to see you, brother Ali. Hope all is well on your end. See you, PC. Appreciate you, sir.